Alright, hello and welcome back to Fate Grand Order, Lostbelt 5, Olympus. Last time we had just defeated Zeus, their great leader, and a close friend sacrificed everything to kill Chaos. And with all this done, we seem to be wrapping up the adventure, but there's still one last foe within this Lost Belt that we have to stop before we can chop down this tree of emptiness. Section 23, The Day to Bring Down the Gods. I mean, I think we already did. Zeus was the last one, but we have someone who supposedly is equal. Oh, dang, that's loud. That was loud. What's going on? What's going on? What the hell kind of bullshit magecraft was that? What the hell do you think you are, raining meteors down like it's no big deal? Oh, that was at least as powerful as Zeus's damn thunderbolts. Of course, this is the same magecraft I used to defeat Zeus, although only the one time. So, would you agree this display of might is enough to show that I'm worthy of being your master, Canis? Now that you're willing to form a contract with me, your summoner, and rise up against proper human history? Oh, damn, guess that bit about him beating Zeus wasn't fake after all. Ha! No thanks, I don't take orders from anyone. Especially not the kind of man who tries to make me obey by force just because he's stronger. You think I'm stronger? Me? Oh, I'm not. I'm a weak, fragile human. Even this victory only came at a great personal cost. Only managed to win by using every trick at my disposal. You see, you would easily beat me if we were to fight again now. Like hell I would. He hasn't even worked up a single bead of sweat. I'm not trying to compel you. What I seek is a mutually beneficial relationship. You're just the heroic spirit I need. I want your help, and I'm sure that you'll find my plan to be to your liking. In fact, I'd even say that in one sense you'll find it irresistible. See, while I have truthfully declared that my goal is to end the world of humans and build a world of the gods, no. On second thought, I'll just go ahead and tell you everything, just between you and me. What? And that is the true nature of my plan. Now do you see what I mean? What? What the hell are you thinking? Why would you even tell me that? What am I supposed to do that you basically told me you mean to betray Olympus? Besides, shouldn't you be telling secrets like that to someone, more obedient like the Dioscuri? You still don't understand? I told you this precisely because I knew I could trust you. Me? Of course you can't trust me. You know how I said I don't take orders from anyone? Well, I was lying. It's not just any. I don't take orders from anyone. Man, woman, human, or a god. You know what? I end up in this body, right? Because my killer hates everyone, god and human alike. Yes, I know, you hated the gods for their flaws and tyranny and humans for being weak. Yourself included. But even though you were so enraged and despondent as to rend your own body, you still chose to survive instead of doing something to yourself. Ultimately, you asked the sea god who wounded you, and whom you hated more than anyone for indemnification. You returned into a divine spirit. You didn't do it to become a god like Poseidon. You did it to ensure you would never lose all hope for yourself ever again. Hey, don't talk to me like you know me. Try it again, I'll put my spear through you, even if it's the last thing I do before one of your meteors crushes me. Yes, I'm aware of the potential consequences if I misspeak. There's no need to worry about meteors. Didn't I already tell you that you'd win next time? Here, see for yourself. How the hell are you taking your gloves and cloak off for? You think, why are your hands so wrinkly? They've been like this ever since I was brought back to life. You're the first person I've ever revealed this to. I'd forgotten how good it feels to dress lightly. To tell the truth, I've always hated wearing these cloaks. Uh-huh. Well, now I can't help but want to keep going. Okay, I think I'll take my shirt off too. Now what are you talking about? First you bring up Poseidon, then you start taking your clothes off right on this beach? Not even Zeus would insult me like... what? Damn, you look terrible. Well, thank you for your honesty. It's refreshing to hear the truth spoken so plainly. Geez, you could give Prometheus a good run for his money, at least in terms of sheer emaciation, I think is how it's pronounced. Of course, I expect there's probably a lot more fitting example in your fancy religion. So what about the scar on your chest? How come that one hasn't healed? Oh, this happened back in my hometown before I came to Chaldea. It was a curse designed to damage my magical circuits directly. My father inflicted it on me when I was a child. Afterwards, I was shut away in a basement for several days, and that is how I got this. Shut away, huh? That's a real gentle way of putting it. Yeah, he was held prisoner, apparently. It's the only way I can put it. Anyways, to make a long story short, I made it out of that basement, made my father retire, and successfully assumed leadership of my family. I have the feeling that retirement was, quite painful, but that's just my assumption. Although I suppose given what he did, it's hard to... I wouldn't really blame Woody May if that was the case. That was the point when my objective became clear. I swore then and there that I would find a way to overcome betrayal, oppression, discrimination, prejudice, fear, jealousy, anger, anxiety, and all the human weaknesses and defects that cast a pall over our lives and minds. Canis, your summoning was no accident, nor was it a compromise. You're my first, indeed my only choice. As far as I'm concerned, you were the first one to show it could be done. I haven't told anyone else my true objective, not Zeus and not the Dioscuri. I came to you because I believe you're the only one who will understand how I feel and why I made the oath that I did. So how about it, Canis? I have enough power to shock you to your core, but my body is not nearly so tough as yours. I may be overwhelmingly strong, but not so much so as to make the opposing side give up in despair. Am I correct? This makes a particularly enticing offer for someone as hard to please as you. You're just gonna call me annoying, weren't you? Oh dang, they made an entire new expression for that. I love it. Perish the thought. Alright, I got it. Now hurry up and put your clothes back on before my bloodlust starts to fade. I'm tempted to make an adult joke at that. Oh, by the way, I'd like to make one thing clear. I'm, of course, not an exhibitionist. Oh, that was only for, like, 1 second, but I love that expression. I'll never forgive the gods of proper human history. The gods of this Lostbelt can piss right off, too. Same goes for humans. I don't give a shit what side they're on. They're all just a bunch of hairless apes. That being said, you have to be out of your mind to come out playing that crazy. I love it. Alright, Kashtaria, you win. I'll play along with the scheme of yours. I'm gonna be using you for my own ends, so it's only fair you do the same. So you're gonna protect Olympus and bring back the age of the gods, huh? Talk about a choice of words. This has gotta be the cruelest scam ever. Prick Zeus has no idea who he's teamed up with. Yeah, we knew from the start that Wodime would... Loyalty only went so far when their end goal was clearly in conflict like that. This is the storm border. I expect you probably know what's happened by now, but just to be sure, we succeeded at severing Chaos's connection to this space-time. I can confirm that as of this moment, they've been permanently sealed away. However, the storm border sustained significant damage over its voyage, and we're currently far off course from the Great Shrine. It'll be about an hour until we've repaired the ship and can return to the present altitude. Alright. Master Mash Sherlock Holmes. The Tree of Emptiness has begun its way to make its way to the ground towards Olympus. Da Vinci thinks it's trying to make contact with the Earth's surface. One thing is clear right now: the tree's internal magical energy is continuing to rise and shows no signs of stopping. There's no time. Wait for us to come back you up. I'd like you to go ahead with the operation and cut down the Tree of Emptiness immediately. I should also tell you the signal for the servant who handled the chaos situation has been lost, and a record in the Chaldea Spirit Origin graph stored on the ship now only says data lost. That's all I have for you right now. Good luck. Yeah, unfortunately, when Musashi sacrificed herself to destroy a chaos and separate him from our plane of existence, she deleted herself so hard she deleted from the game itself. Oh, sure, she still exists in the game's data, of course. You can still, if I had her, I could still play as her just fine. And indeed, she can still get buffs or banners in the future, but this is apparently a different kind of deletion from what King Solomon did to rescue us at the end of Part 1. It's definitely going to be... as of right now, even in the Japanese version that's 2 years ahead, she's still gone, and honestly, I kind of hope they stick to it just so that they can keep that sacrifice as such a meaningful thing. It was just such a big deal, and I really hope they don't cheapen it by bringing her back. As much as we'll be missing her. The Olympus twins. Musashi. Data lost. That's every last Olympian machine god dead, so what gives? Do these idiots not understand this means our truce is over and we're enemies again? And they're also wide open, it's ridiculous. Damn, there's no reason not to sneak attack him right now. Alright, I guess I'm doing this. Yes, do not be so quick to sully your honor for the sake of your master. There are as many different masters as there are people, are there not? Would yours, himself a man of honor, be happy with you ending things in this manner? Sure is considered as you are insightful, Mr. Holy Progenitor. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do it. Y'all just look so pitiful I couldn't help but think about it for a moment. Well, remember our agreement. I said I'd only help you out till we take down Zeus. Now that's done, I'm gonna head back to my boss. Zeus dead and Chaos gone, he's all set to swoop in and take everything for himself. Hell, I bet he's already hanging out in the Tree of Emptiness looking all smug as we speak. That's right, you're still Xterius. Yeah, that's right, I'm that pretentious show-off servant. Always have been, always will be. Still, I'll say this for the prick, he's worth it. And I'll tell you this, you two, he's worth fighting, and fighting as hard as he can. I might be a misanthropic killer, but that much I can say for damn certain. Worth fighting as hard as we can. Anus, how can we reach the Tree of Emptiness's roots? Why, you need me to tell you that? Isn't it obvious? See that palace off the side of the Cronus Crown? It leads right to the tree's roots. Of course, it's losing altitude along with the tree now, so you'll have to go the Machina corridor first. Now just keep heading up. You have to be a complete idiot to miss it. Let me give you one last word of warning, and this goes for you two twins. Us? If you don't want to die, no, that's not right, is it? If you want to stay alive as long as possible, then get out of the Dodona and go back home while you can. And I'm gonna take out the Chaldeans one way or another. They have no choice but to fight, but you two, we're not going anywhere. We swore to put an end to this world, and that's just what we're going to do. That's so? Alright. If it's death you want, I'll be glad to give it to you, and while I'm at it, I'll show you what a real master's like, too. Got anything to say in response? Well, I say let's just get this done. It's time to cut down that Tree of Emptiness and defeat Cysteria Wodime. That's right, this is the most crucial mission we've been entrusted with. Well done, it seems there is nothing less for us to say. Holy Progenitor Romulus, is it just me or is your body glowing even more brightly than before? It's not that, Europa. His spirit origin's dispersing. That means his manifestation is almost over. What happened, Holy Progenitor Romulus? Forgive us. Unfortunately, we will not be able to join you for your battle against the mage who grew the Atlas, the opponent you must defeat at all costs. Though the Ether may have summoned us here, we retain a Grand Class Spirit Origin. Grand Class servants are basically just servants with a stronger container, a stronger upper limit that they're allowed to reach. Since a servant is already a very powerful familiar, a Grand is an especially powerful one. The only time a heroic spirit with a Grand status appears is when the final showdown is close at hand, and while owing to this Lostbelt's own peculiarities, two Grand Servants were summoned here, we made the same choice the other did, to protect this world rather than eradicate our enemy. Grand Servants are usually only summoned if a beast monster arrives, namely the one we fought a bit earlier, Koyanskaya. Uh, I guess Orion back in Atlantis was summoned because he was the one intended to defeat her, but he helped us destroy Artemis instead. And we were able to summon Romulus Quirinius here because he still had a presence in the Lostbelt, but he also sacrificed himself so that Musashi could deal the finishing blow to Chaos, which means he also never got a chance to fight her. Escorting the Storm Border to the Void spent the last of our magical energy. Soon our spiritual origin will vanish. Whatever battles are yet to come, you will now need to fight them alone. We hope you can forgive us. And if you're wondering why Quirinius is using the royal we, they are, that's because they are beyond, if I remember right, I believe their profile says that they're beyond humanity. He went from a mortal man into a deity, even beyond the concept of gender itself, so, yeah. Alright, thank you for getting him there. It's okay, we've got this. We see, then we leave the rest in your hands, O Mage of Modernity. If in battles to come you should encounter a foe that threatens to shatter your very soul, look to the sky, emptiness, or another way, space with which to dream, is within a grasp to all who reach for it, even that which lacks form, which can serve as fuel for the heart. Furthermore, emptiness belongs not to the gods, but to man, to humans. Do not be afraid to reach out and take it. Do that, and your hands will reach even those terrible heavens as surely as ours. Hang. Well, at least that's a pretty nice cowboy speech to end on. Oh, was that an earthquake? No, the shaking was the floating shrine about to move. Now that Zeus is gone, Olympia Dodona has begun to lose power. We'd best be on our way. Master, it appears that we don't have much time left. Indeed, we still have to defeat Kristeria before we can do much else here. Alright, the detached palace. Ooh, we have a fight on our hands. Alright, here we go. Let's see. There, I've made it to the ground safely. No hostiles detected on our facility. Go ahead and jump down, Master. It's okay, I will catch you. Thump. Oops. Oh, you okay? I can't believe you need help getting down from a little ledge like that. I guess people from pop in human history are even more fragile than I thought. Stop that, Macarios. You know he doesn't have the same protections we do. I do, yeah. Sorry, I'll be more careful from now on. Is Foe okay, too? Might as well make sure the mascot's safe, too. Of course, he's right here inside my shield storage space. Oh, Foe. Ah, please get back in there, Foe. We're almost certainly going to be fighting another battle soon. All the many defensive mechanisms that were in place have shut down. The quakes have become more frequent as well. So it would seem. I can no longer sense Lord Zeus's light from within the Cronus Crown. Cronus Crown controls the Crystal Mountains and their massive energy supply. It gave Zeus the power to wield many different kinds of authority and command the elements. So much, in fact, the fact that it's shut down means it's only a matter of time until this shrine falls to the ground. And we better hurry. We need to keep heading up from here, right? Yes, there's a small purification temple inside the palace. It should have a path that leads to the Tree of Emptiness. Fo. What is this place? A table that differs significantly from Olympian design, 7 chairs, and a modern-day magical circuit in the room. It seems most likely that this is the Cryptors' meeting room. I expect this is where Kristeria and the other Cryptors... Attention, my fellow Cryptors evacuating to Olympia Dodona. If you're hearing this, Zeus has fallen to Chaldea, and the Tree of Emptiness now belongs solely to me. The moment is at hand. The Tree of Emptiness' stored magical energy has reached a critical point. Now that my Tree of Emptiness, Atlas, is about to fully bloom, our contest to grow our Lostbelts and determine the next course of history is over, and I have won. I only hope that you are all still alive to hear this. I'm sure that you have many thoughts, but I hope you can accept the new world that will soon be upon us. Farewell. I was Kristeria, and this corridor must be the one that leads to the Tree of Emptiness. Born Priestess. Let me grab a drink real quick. Give me a minute, please. Alright, there we go. Let's continue onward, shall we? Oh, Master, the one we saw in the Russian Lostbelt standing in front of the corridor. What are you talking about, Master? There's no one there in the corridor. Macarius is right, there's no magical energy there either. Are you okay? Are you sure not just exhausted? Oh, but I can see her right there. Plain as day. Come to think of it, our instruments couldn't observe her in Russia either. Perhaps she wishes to tell something, or perhaps she's some kind of random phenomenon? Regardless, we have no time to deal with her now. As it seems she won't be getting in our way, it may be best if we moved on and ignored her. Yeah, I guess you're right. If she's not actively impeding our progress, we need to keep going. I know you're right, but she seems like she wants to tell us something. Forget about the invisible girl and come on, we're almost at the end of this. What are you scared of at this point? This guy kicked your ass in Atlantis, right? Don't you want to return the favor? Yeah, you're right. This time I'm going to focus entirely on him. Right. Well said, Master. I'm so sorry, I wish I knew what it was you wanted to tell us. I'll make sure to hear what you have to say, but right now, I'm afraid I have to go. The Foreign Priestess. No, even I can never tell what it is you're thinking. Tell me, Priestess, do you want to stop them, or do you want to take them out here and now? I see, it goes without saying, doesn't it? Then as I suspected, you simply don't care one way or another. Understood. In that case, I won't interfere with their battle either. Perhaps Kashtaria's inhuman resolution, unshakable willpower will prevail. Perhaps it will be the daring and unpredictable Chaldeans who carry the fate of humanity on their shoulders. Or perhaps our luck will prevail over them both, even after making enemies of everyone. Regardless of what happens, as a lone priest, I will simply watch and see what form the foreign god's own truth will take. Yeah. We can worry about the one using Kirei's body later. Or, right now, we have to stop him before this Tree of Emptiness summons that alien deity. Yeah. Because apparently, even Zeus doesn't compete, and we barely had to sacrifice a lot just to get rid of chaos, let alone something that's equal or greater. So that's the Atlantic Lostbelt tree. It's the biggest one I've ever seen. Strange, I'm not getting any response from Sheba. The machine that detects... The machine at Chaldea that detects it. I'm not seeing anything in the way of confirmed future attack patterns with future prediction either. It looks like it doesn't have any hostile intent whatsoever. What? Does this mean this Tree of Emptiness doesn't possess any means of attacking its enemies? Or perhaps that it has no need for them? So this is the Tree of Emptiness Atlas. Even I have never seen it so close before. It really does look like there's a galaxy inside an empty tree. I mean, I could see that from the ground before too, but yeah, seeing it up close is somehow overwhelming. I mean, it's definitely beautiful, but more than that, it's terrifying, I take it. I feel the same way, Adele, Makarios. Hello, Chaldean remnants and Olympian traitors. As a representative of both worlds, allow me to welcome you to the Tree of Emptiness Atlas. Crap, it's... Looks like we've got ourselves an ensemble cast. Limbo. Right you are, 'tis I, the very Limbo you defeated only a short while ago. Well, at least this time we know you can't use your technique to avoid being defeated by us yet again. Surprised? Shocked? Well, no, he'd outright said that that one would be the... No need to say anything, I can tell exactly how you feel. You're probably a quiver with astonishment, yes. But as you can clearly see, I am indeed immortal. No matter what manner of harm is visited upon me, I will always bounce back surely as turning a page. I never gave you permission to speak, Limbo. Be warned, I am not as lenient as Zeus. Now be quiet, you'll find yourself burning to cinders, like the page to which you've just likened yourself. What was that? A mere crypter telling me what to do? I mean, you still haven't noticed? Unbelievable. You do understand that you're the Shikigami Limbo left here to keep an eye on the Tree of Emptiness, correct? Well, the thread tying you to the real Limbo has been cut. You're now Limbo's last remaining clone. Impossible, I'm afraid you must be mistaken. Only that Onmyuji could ever hope to sever my spells. Wait, it has? How? How could that possibly have happened? This is terrible. What a horrible joke. I can't believe I can only die one more time. Very well, if you excuse me, Wodime, I believe I shall leave this in your hands. I want to wait over by the Tree of Emptiness and watch you all kill one another from afar. At least the good news is next time we fight him, it'll be the last time. Although we do have to be careful. As they say, a cornered rat is at its most dangerous. Especially for someone like Caster of Limbo there. Oh, good grief, incorrigible to the end. Now, first off, let me congratulate you for prevailing against Zeus. I was sure your chances were almost non-existent. I'm impressed you managed to defeat him without losing a single member of your team. Well, technically, we didn't lose Musashi or Romulus to Zeus. We lost them to Chaos, but... Okay, let's just hold off here. It was all the same to you, I'd appreciate if you kept the provocations to a minimum. Okay, he was intentionally trying to piss us off. Much as I would like to speak with you at length, we simply haven't the time. That Tree of Emptiness behind you is in a very precarious state, and we're not about to let all of our hard work thus far be for nothing. We will be cutting it down as soon as possible, whether you like it or not. A most practical decision. But I'm afraid you're a bit too late. My Tree of Emptiness is already complete. Before, it was simply waiting to fully bloom. Now, it is using over half its power to protect itself. Once the Tree of Emptiness's bark reaches that point, it is no longer possible to interfere with it externally. Well, the word externally sounds extremely specific, so... The only ones who can make the tree die are Zeus, who is connected to it directly, and myself, since I possess the right to use it as I see fit. That means, so if we want to cut down the Tree of Emptiness... Our only choice is to defeat you, correct? Yes, that's right, Master. Share Wodime, if what you say is true, and all you had to do was stay out of sight and wait. But instead, you chose to show yourself to confront the Master directly. That must mean you're prepared, aren't you? I am. You're able to defeat me and prepared to hand over the Tree of Emptiness. Can't be that easy. Oh, you never wore an expression so fierce as the one I see on you now, Mash. Oh, you two. Well, I'm glad to be finally seeing your true selves. I knew you two weren't fighting me with all you had back in Atlantis. Or at least what I saw of you there didn't quite fit with what I'd heard about you before. I was told you to never give up no matter how powerful the opponent is, that you swallow your despair and rise up to meet any challenge. I was also told you acknowledge your fears, remember to search for answers, hold on to hope, and never doubt who you are. But you are a master who faced impossible odds and fought through them all while carrying the future of humanity upon your shoulders. Ah, it's so exciting. At last, you're finally as I imagined. Now you look just like Daybit described. Now you're indeed the greatest enemy I could hope to face. Well, there's a lot I want to say with you, but it wouldn't be good for television. But it can wait until we've beaten you. Oh, when'd you learn to talk tough like that? True, I never thought I'd say anything like that either. And yet, strangely enough, it sounds just like something you would say. Indeed, the Master does seem to be back to his old self, as he used to be at Chaldea. Right now, it's clear he's not consumed with sympathy for this Lostbelt, nor preoccupied with the mystery of the foreign god. His only focus right now is on a powerful enemy before him. Now I see, this is what you wanted, Kashtaria. Battle to determine the greatest master. A way to entrust what's to come without to the master, without putting himself. Wonderful! Oh dang, he's got the crazy eyes now. That's just what I was hoping for, Master Chaldea. As though you were never one of us. Don't worry, I'm not going to pull an Akuda. I'm simply going to obliterate you here and now. The enemy master has assumed a combat stance. Right, let's show him what we're capable of. Come, Canis, let it begin. This will be the last battle ever to be fought between humans. Yeah, I think he might be a little too into the... Oh, well, formation restricted. Oh, balls. Oh, balls. I don't like this. Alright. What am I gonna do here? Lineup. This is the support Sherlock Holmes. Can I put him back here? I can. I need someone to handle this saber. Who's my strongest single target saber? Brave Liz or... Actually, it's probably going to be Hakosai. Let's go with Hakosai. Yes, she will suffice. It's... actually, how many quick cards does she have? What deck is she running? She has 2 quicks. She can use it. Yeah. She can use... Oops. No, I don't want to take a closer look at artwork, although the artist did do a good job, I'll admit. Alright, so Hakosai. Set Mash's starting member. That reminds me, does she have a protection of any kind? She does not. This does slightly concern me. I think. There's someone I can actually use to help this. It's a bit of a no, that's a disadvantage. Well... Actually, I don't mind losing her if it comes to that, but for the moment... Let's pull this out here. Where's Golden catches the carp? Here we are. I'm gonna abuse Plug Suit for this. And I have my defensive Mystic Code, good. Alright, we're most likely fighting Canis, so we should be fine here. My command seals have regenerated, but I'm going to likely need those for Wodime himself. I guess in this case you could say that Canis is the true final deity of this area, but we know Wodime himself can also fight. The enemy master. Bequeath the golden pride, the soul, increase break gauge. Oh balls. Give him an extra HP, gave Canis an extra HP bar. Alright, what's the upgrade here? Poseidon's Blessing, HP recovery amount, and increase MP steel resist, increase steel resist during attacks. So I don't have the Plug Suit, that's right. Whoops, my bad. But I do have one of these. Dragon Crested Octopus. Or gather rage and apply guts. Okay, I have hard defense, hard offense. Alright, Canis, let's see how you feel about saving. There we go. Break bar complete. Excellent. Alright. How's this? Come on, let's keep going. She really, Canis really doesn't like, match, does she? I guess since I keep swapping off between he and she, Canis is a bit of an interesting figure. While the original character was male, they did canonically end up becoming a female for a short while, and that's why Canis is female here in Fate, so Grand Order. Because they wanted to go with the female version because it sells better. Alright, Ultimus. Gonna love this. Kosai is gonna have fun. Alright, let's increase our defenses here just to protect us. Monster strength. That's a lot of attack buffs. Yeah, Canis isn't gonna kill Kosai. But I think, perfect. Oh, perfect. Damn it, I really want to use the Kosai Brave Chain. Alright, let's do this. Father-daughter connection. Alright, yeah. This should break Canis' next break bar. There we go. Oh, nice. Oh, perfect for me. It's nothing. Don't underestimate Canis, Divine Servant. Oh dang, fourth break bar. Alright, let's do it. Discerning Eye. We need to keep Canis' NP up at all costs. Yeah, this NP is how we're gonna win, that's for sure. There we go. Oh dear. Alright. Nightingale's not gonna survive this, so let's, one buff roll it. Let's move this just to make Canis weaker. Here we are. Go ahead and let Florence Nightingale go down with this attack, so... Ooh, actually... I wish this was Scotty, but it's fine. Kosai should survive this. Excellent. Go. Okay, good. She focused the one who was invincible. Good, good, good. Story Sherlock. It's one I would have preferred, but whatever. I have a Mash Brave chain I can use, so let's do that. Gain some crit stars here. Alright, is this for one attack or one turn? One left. Alright, we'll do it this way. Ash Brave Chain should be good. What the hell are you guys? Chance for of course. I do not like that chance for invincible, but I don't have anything I can do for that, unfortunately. Art's Brave Chain, add everyone's defense. True name, frozen deployment. Go Moldy. I don't think she's a fan of Jason. Take another look at this chance for invincible. Is it 4 turns? Lovely. Alright. I'm going to use Jason's special here. Alright, this is going to be tricky, but I think, keyword think, we can do this. Zenp's up good. Monstrous strength. Guts. Let's keep Jason up here. I don't think Jason does enough damage for this, but let's try it anyways. Alright, Sherlock, use your NP to clear that. Of course he misses the crit on a 70% chance. At least the good news is we don't have to fear the chance of invincible anymore. Should be able to do this just fine. Chain. Not sure if this is gonna help, if I'm completely honest, excellent. Now let's do it this way, just so we can... This way should get both their MPs. Purging Spear. Fortunately, the story Sherlock is actually weaker than mine. Just gonna restart this. I don't want to waste a command seal on this fight. Just gonna skip this and redo a few things. As nice as Nightingale's buffs were, they're not what I need here. Especially since, let's see. Alright, let's go back to Scotty, because she also has 50% charge. That way she can keep the golden catch of the carp, because Akosai is absolutely the main way I'm going to be winning this. Canis doesn't have any kind of invulnerability piercing, so I think what might be nice is the default, since that has a very strong heal, as well as a dodge. Alright, we'll see how I can do with this. Alright. I think Hakosai is my strongest single target saber, so this should be good. Right. Odium is actually very smart, using 2 of his command seals to give additional life bars to Canis. It's very straightforward, but also very practical. I'd probably do the same if I had the ability to do so. Apply a state where critical strength increases during critical attacks for yourself. Alright. Art's Brave Chain on Hakosai. Wow, this is gonna be great. If my card luck is a little better, I should be able to win this just fine. Or it's gonna come down to how much Canis focuses down Hakosai, and how much I can get Hakosai's cards. Break ball. Come on, let's keep going. Ow. Ow. Yeah, if she keeps critting Hakosai like this, that's not gonna end well for me. And what's the overcharge on Hakosai's NP do? Increase your NP strength? Ooh. That's actually going to be a very significant boost to her damage, so let's do precisely that. We can end with waivers cards, so that it's the full arts chain on everyone. Fortunate, but I guess all of Hakosai used up all her cards on the first turn. Darn it, that didn't take out the life bar. If I'd gotten even one, enough. This should finish him off. Finish off the bar. Here we are. Broken. It's nothing. Don't underestimate Canis. Increase break gauge. Ow. Do it this way then. Alright, she should have no choice but to focus on MASH now. Just need to... How do I get this to happen here? Alright. No one should die next turn, which means I should have some time to get Hakosa's MP back up. Emergency evade. Yeah, Waver's 2 turns from getting everything back, but he doesn't have enough. He's not gonna live long enough. Canis is NP, it's everyone. Oh, this should be good if I can get the crit on MASH. Damn it. Oh, that one was good. Okay, now that was good. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Alright, let's debuff Canis to try and increase the damage to her. Darn it, Hakosai's a bit short, but I don't want to waste an NP charge on her right now. Let's do it this way then. Increasing everyone's defense, and Hakosai should be able to break that bar. Frozen deployment. Alright, defenses are up. Even with our attack buffs, Canis shouldn't do too much damage to us. Excellent. Ow, ow, ow. Ooh, this is actually perfect. Chain from Hakosai, good. And because those are quicks, she should get a decent amount of stars for the next turn. Over gauge. Bar broken. Damn, what the hell are you guys? Chance for invincible. Damn it, stop bullying Hakosai. You can bully Scotty as much as you like, though. By all means. Now I just have to hope Canis doesn't randomly decide she's immune to the NP there. Here we go. Now, please don't be invincible to this, Canis. She's not. Excellent, we took out the break bar. We did it. Dang. Great job, Hakosai. Do 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 do. We are the day to bring down the gods. I know who this is. If it's a single caster enemy, I know precisely who this is. And this is the one I was saving my... Damn. These guys just won't let the hell up. What a pain in the ass. The hell's going on here? Come on, Kashteri. What are you holding back for? Do the thing. What thing? You mean that thing I showed you on the beach back... Not that. At those meteors you love to throw around. I never got to see him at Atlantis. I want to kick back and enjoy the show on the winning side. Ah, you mean I'm going my metering. Naturally, I'm not going to hold anything back. However, it would seem it's time. Excuse me, would you mind pausing for a few seconds? What? Master, the Tree of Emptiness inner magical energy is spiking rapidly. Get back, it's not safe anymore. I don't think it was safe to begin with, but it's especially not safe now. Wait, that's the image on the title screen. Does that mean that was the Tree of Emptiness the entire time? Something's coming down from the sky? Could this be the foreign god's advent? Though right now I must admit I'm more concerned with that sky. It's neither the night sky nor outer space. It's not even the same across cross-dimensional space where chaos resided. Even I can't make heads or tails of it. What is that? The Tree of Emptiness's inside just disappear? No, I can see something. Is that a giant? It looks humanoid. Indeed, that's the body of our god. The glorious form which our glorious god is the reason we disciples were summoned. That glorious form of our glorious god is the very reason we were summoned. Excellent work, Kashteri. Excellent, how impressive a mere human could accomplish this. Well done. I admit I had my suspicions. Your little tiff with Chaldea might be violating your contract, foreign god, but as they say, all's well that ends well, and indeed, this humanity has finally and fully reached its end. Now no one can stop the advent of our deity. The foreign god cannot take physical form on this planet, thus when the Tree of Emptiness grows to completion and its hollow is fully filled, the foreign god will descend to Earth using the tree as their vessel. It is just what you did with the Grand Summon Article Ether, like what you did with the Grand Summon Ether. It is over. Game, set, match. It's not obvious, or yet I can stop you right now. I don't think so. You put up a good fight, but you're far too late and far too powerless. You know, since it's also incredibly thrilling, I think I'll go ahead and deal with you myself, so that Lord Kashteri no longer has to. However, there's no place for the foreign god here. Look closely, Limbo. See for yourself what exactly is inside my Tree of Emptiness and what is offered to it. What? What are you talking about? That form inside the Tree of Emptiness is clearly a body of... Did I mute the mic in time for that sneeze? Sorry about that. What is this sickening divinity? How can there already be another god inside? Who is this loathsome squatter? Who is this other god? Who the hell do you think? You forget all the times Kashteri mentioned his name? The Tree of Emptiness's name ain't Magellan, it's Atlas. Wait, then... You mean you summoned a divine spirit within the tree? Atlas? Who is this Atlas? Greek mythology, Atlas is the name of the titan who literally carries the world upon his shoulders. So you brought him here ahead of time, Kashteri? I did. I actually summoned 3 servants here in total. Canis, a divine spirit from human history. The Dioscuri from this Lostbelt. And Atlas, a giant who served as foundation of the Greek world and proper human history. After coming to a mutual understanding, he agreed to aid me in my plan, a plan to build a new age of gods in this world, rather than hand it over to the foreign god. How dare you? This is a clear breach of contract. Not at all. I obeyed every instruction the foreign god gave me. Our agreement was that I grow the Tree of Emptiness to completion. We never agreed on what was going to fill it. Despite its name, it didn't feel right having it sit there empty, so I took the liberty of preparing a resident ahead of time. He's... Yeah, this, no doubt, this is definitely the title screen image. So this was the title screen the whole time. The halos are all glowing red. You mean the communications have been cut off? This is a disaster. The foreign god will never be able to send like this. What is the meaning of this Kashteri? How dare you disobey the foreign god? Obedience is not what I offered the foreign god to begin with. We merely made a deal, as equals. I never stopped believing in the future and the possibilities of humanity. My own body may no longer fit in with human history thanks to the foreign god resurrecting me, but I never attempted to overthrow humanity for the foreign god's sake. I moved away from proper human history so that I could expel them. Suffice to say, Limbo, I've always despised you and the way you take twisted pleasure in destruction. How dare you speak to me like that, you wretched traitor? Not so fast, idiot. You want to get to Hysteria? You're gonna have to go through me first. Impudent false divine spirit, this is a new low even for a barbaric servant such as you. Think hardly gave you a second thought, Limbo. You wasted so much energy mocking everyone you could that I knew you were gonna end up the biggest laughingstock of them all. Dang, that's a good one. Also, note that Hysteria never used his final command seal in that fight against us. He merely only used 2. So does this mean the foreign god isn't gonna come here? Correct, there's already another god occupying the one place they could manifest. The foreign god will never appear here as long as Atlas is sound. Does this mean Hysteria did all this to protect Earth? If only were that simple, but it isn't, is it, Hysteria? At long last, I'm going to see exactly what it is you pose a great threat to. Right, you are, Sage of Chaldea. Your insight and observational skills are remarkable, all the more considering Zeus interfered with your mind. I have no desire for the foreign god to rule Earth, but I refuse to submit it to proper human history either. Oh, but you just said you were going against the foreign god. That everything you've done to help humanity's future. Not humanity's future, simply humans. I have no wish to protect proper human history, nor do I think human history thus far has taken the optimal path. In that regard, it makes no difference whether I or the foreign god used the Tree of Emptiness smash. I simply can't bring myself to choose a future for proper human history. You of Chaldea are the only ones who can do that. Is this the calm before the Great Flood? The kind that once drowned the world of proper human history? No, that can't be right. This will still no doubt destroy the world, but it's so very warm. Just tell us what you're after already. Let no more lies. The rebirth of humanity, of course. The bell of revolution has been rung. Atlas will use the magical energy stored within the Tree of Emptiness to create new laws, new textures, and spread them in the world. As for myself, I'll make my declaration. Human wisdom has met its defeat. Human power alone is simply incapable of progressing past this point. Humans are fundamentally incapable of making the right choice. I, of course, been no exception. No matter how many times... for the record, this is the title screen theme that's playing right now. No matter how many times we deliberate, fight, and so on and so forth, our history will never become what it should. Why? It should be obvious. Humans are hopelessly limited by our lifespans. Lifespans? We are weak, exceedingly so, not as individuals, but as a species. Only those within certain privileged environments are capable of love, acceptance, and respect. At its heart, human intelligence is built on taking from others, selfishness. There is no utopia to be found on that path. Worlds such as that will always produce innocent victims. Hell that was proper human history proves as much beyond a shadow of a doubt. But that doesn't mean we can give up. For something this important, there's no room for compromise or backpedaling. What I'm after is simple. Utopia is beyond current human reach. I'll revolutionize what it means to be human itself. If the human species is weak, then I shall make it stronger. That's right, every human on this planet is about to be reborn. They will leave the weak human forms in favor of superior bodies, heightened senses, marvelous potential. I'll have them become something greater than human, a new life form that surpasses the machine gods themselves. Naturally, that goes for all of you as well. This is my new plan, a new age of gods. Once everyone is like unto a god themselves, there'll be no more inequality. Every last person will have power, responsibility, and the responsibility to influence the world. One day, should all these new gods be willing, they will give birth to a new intelligence who can and will lead history to a much better place. Interesting, this almost sounds like one of the reasons from SMT Nocturne. Fortunately, I don't, for the same reason that one didn't work out, I don't have much faith in Hysteria as well. Although I do get where he's coming from. That is my conclusion, my own special Operation God Destroyer. As of today, humanity will bring down the very concept of what it is to be a god. Does that young man realize what he's saying? Why does the ship only pick up audio? Get Hysteria up on the screen already, damn it. I can't believe the god-unfearing delusions that not-so-sweet summer child is spouting. How dare you try to make all of humanity? We can't let him get away with such a dastardly... Wait, you say gods, not monsters, spare parts for some nightmare ritual. Well, that can't be right. There's no way he could do that. That's the whole trouble with kids these days. They think they can attract all the votes they need by dangling the impossible manifesto. I don't think he's exaggerating, Director. It looks like he's telling the unvarnished truth. All the Stormbolter's instruments support what he's saying. Right now, the Tree of Emptiness Atlas is spreading the true fifth element, true ether, across the world. In fact, even as we speak, it's refining your soul's spiritual format, its grade. Not just for you, it's doing it for the others. Master, Mash, and the border staff as well. This keeps up even as you retain your humanity. Yeah, you guys really will turn to beings that will eventually have the same capabilities of heroic spirits. Or to measure on humanity's scale, you could end up being the same level as gods. Oh, come now, surely you jest. Master, your magical circuits are improving in both mass and quantity. No, it's not just you, it's happening to me. The curse and Delhi, too. Unfortunately, Mr. Wodime, that plan is pure fantasy. You think making everyone to superior godlike beings will usher in a new world? Even if you succeed at giving people everything they need, whether it be a sense of fulfillment, long and healthy lives, or physical capabilities that eliminate the necessity for competition, as long as people remain their intelligence, there will always be conflict. The only difference will be in scale and destruction. What you're trying to do here is, I understand that, as long as individuals exist, fighting will only remain only a cycle of growth, but that will come to an end one day. The larger perspective, broader wisdom, and a longer lifespan which to learn and grow, humanity will be sure to reach the next cycle. That's right, you'll be able to break the chains that humanity thus far could not. From here on, humanity will no longer make gods to save them. Everyone will be a god capable of saving everyone else. But something about this still... That's a great idea, but something about this... That being said, some things will certainly be lost in the service for the greater good. This revolution will be limited to humanity on Earth as it exists right now. I don't have the people power to return people, bring back the people from proper human history. Once Atlas's textures cover the Earth, proper human history will be gone forever. Well and truly lost. After all, it will no longer have any place to return to, just like the foreign god cannot occupy a Tree of Emptiness with Atlas keeping them away. Oh, but then... Your planet is essentially the same as the foreign gods. It's not any different from having wiped Earth clean. What do you think? Don't you agree my plan has merit? Under different circumstances, I'd say that's pretty incredible, actually. Hey, but as things stand now, I can't accept it. You're basically just doing the foreign god's work. You think I'm merely running away, that I seek to abandon the past and the present? You're not wrong. I have no good response to that. While I do believe you're capable of bringing that past and present back, I also can't deny I'm passing all the work on to you. It seems the foreign god has taken measures to deal with me. I suppose that might make sense why I would seek to end my existence, since I can't touch the Tree of Emptiness. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid none of you have a choice. I'm going to use the Tree of Emptiness Atlas to revolutionize the world before the foreign god can break our contract. What you do next is up to you. You can choose this revolution bright future, a future of gods where everyone is happy. Or you can choose proper human history, with all of its bleakness, the myriad of problems, myriad of dead ends. But be warned, if you try and interfere, I'll show you no mercy. This is my grand order, title drop, and is the ideal I've fought for my entire life. If you wish to stand in its way, you must fight with all the strength you possess. This plane's future rests upon the outcome of this battle. If you think you can choose a greater future than I, if you believe you're strong enough for me to entrust you with the Tree of Emptiness, then prove it. I'm Krishtaria Wodime. As a cryptor, I denounce proper human history. I'm an enemy of Chaldea, and by extension you, and I am the leader of Team A, who fought to protect humanity. Ironically. I think I actually will need Plug Suit for this, because I don't want to have to deal with MASH being on the front line. I need someone else here. Who's the main DPSer? Of course, my most powerful rider. A rider so powerful that even in the Japanese version, 2 years in the future, they only barely just began adding more single-target riders because he horrified them so badly. And as much as I want Scotty for the extra damage... Go with the Nightingale, simply because I do still like her buffs a lot. And I already have quick buffs from Rider Toki himself, so I think, keyword think, this should suffice. Proper use of Mystic Coat. Yeah. As great as Mash is, I think I can have a better use than her in this current situation. Grand battle, here we go. Hysteria, stars, cosmos, gods, animus, antrum, unbirth, anima, animusphere, Double charge, NP gain up. Armament, true. Overcharge times 2, interesting. We're going to do as much damage as we can in this turn. Yeah, this is what I was saving everything for. The Orleans Trench. Nullify debuff. Septim's Evening. Gain resistance to criticals. Okeanos Toast. That reminds me. If I remember right, the one he was with in Okeanos, she's a true ancestor, an elemental taken human form. So I'm not sure how in each and every one of these he had... Supposedly everyone died except for him in that one. Londinium's Demise. Low chance increase your charge by 1 at the end of each turn. Demerit. Wasteland's Bonfire. Remove each single enemy buff during normal attacks. The Jerusalem record. No effect. Mesopotamia's record. No effect. That's right. Camelot technically took place in Jerusalem, but the Lion King ended up taking nullified debuffs. 3 left. 17. Alright, Rider Brave Chain. This should charge up his NP extremely well. And he has all 3 buff types on him, so he should break the first break bar easily. What the hell? Dang, he survived easily. Reloading humanity. Oh, charge gain? You dick! Grand Order, Animanisphere.
Stars, Cosmos, Gods, Animus, Antrum, Ambas, Anima, Animusphere.
Lovely. Max MP minus how? But he survived because of the... He survived because of the guts. Lucky me. Alright, we'll do this here real quick. Self-heal. Alright, we'll get this break bar done here now. Oh, excellent. There we go, we can NP again immediately. Phew, let's take a little break. I don't know if this is going to break the break bar, but if it does, I need to be absolutely sure it wins. Okeanos toasted. Stun's not going to do much. I wish I could test to see if this would do enough damage to take him out. It might, but the keyword here is might. I think this is going to destroy him, so let's do it.
オルテナウス
ベアナック
疑似リンク開始
Old Camelot, increase our defenses.
凍結展開これは多く
But
の
I'm glad I did.
多くの願いを受けた幻想の城
By the way, don't think I didn't notice that he removed buffs. I guess I got lucky that I decided to try and use Nightingale, Santa Nightingale, because she adds buff removal resist, which means she couldn't remove the buffs on the one I gave it to. Oh, damn it. I wasted that item, didn't I?
明星のシルベーまたそら風になるぜ
前に出ます
Alright, let's get Merlin's NP up here so I can get some healing going.
そうどう死は動かず
Stars do not invite.
強運の星を お任せ夢のように
Dreamlike charisma.
小さな振り落とされんだよベアナックルだ
Garden of Avalon.
そこは壁もなく城もなくみそばの始まりの空魂のありかを見せようかガーデン・オブ・アバロンそんじゃかっ飛ばそうかベア・ハウリングゴールデン・ドライあまり無理はさせないでほしいなスマッシュ天上の神々カルディアの灯火よ 決めるぜ
Fortunately, I don't think I'm gonna be able to survive this.
どんどん明星のシルベール強運の星を
内熱衝撃板装填します
We're not gonna survive this, and I don't have a team behind here that can actually kill him. We're gonna retry this fight. Yeah, let's just hurry up, go back to the fight here. I need something stronger. Yeah, I might as well do this one since that increases damage a good bit. And I need to be a lot more careful about using my invulnerability skills. But interestingly, it did say that I was wasting his charges, so I guess I could use the Gandir right away to fail to stun him, but to eat up one of his charges of it.
星の形、空の形、神の形。
Oh right, he has a really long intro. It shouldn't be too bad.
天体は
I'm a lot more prepared this time.
空洞は虚空なり。虚空には神ありき。
決まってんじゃないか、ボーイズ。
Double charge and beating him.
つまんない連中だな。他にやることないじゃん。こういうのどうだ。つまんない連中だな。他にやることないの。
Reserve mash in the reserves.
レン高らかになれ。
Everyone's going to lose their buffs except Ryder Toki, because Toki will have this Nurse of Steel, buff removal resist. I'm glad I invested in her since she protects.
Okay,
Alright, let's go. The road then.
あまり無理はさせないでほしいな。
罠だ。
清潔に。
天は巡らす。
Reloading humanity.
スターズ、コスモス、ゴッツ、アニムス、アントルム、アンバース、アニマ、アニムスピ
Yeah, if I remember right, they said he forces the stars into alignment to perform his attack here. Normal human mage should not be this powerful. Although it is weird, he insists that we're equal to him in power somehow. Yes. Ash Merlin. Dreamlike
さて、
charisma.
カウンティングオーバー。
Okay, ベアナックルだ。
オーケー。
I don't want to use Mold Camelot until after I break the first break bar because he removes buffs. I think I saw him do that anyway when he broke the bar broke anyway.
あまり無理はさせないでほしいな。切り込む。血は動か
You,
ず。
let's take a little break. Yeah, he removed our buffs. Frustrating.
天上の神々。 君に全チップをかけよう。頼むぞ。
Oh, excellent. Let's do it this way.
ベアナクール。スマッシュ。
豊穣の兆しよ。
Poor Merlin.
さすがに手間。
Charge loss. Good.
オルテナウス疑似リンク開始。前に出ます。
Let's get Mold Camelot going. As well as Garden of Avalon, because if I can spam Garden of Avalon, that's a lot of
これは
healing.
多くの後多くの願いを受けた幻想の城。こうせよモールだ。
切り込む。カルディアの灯火よ。豊穣の兆しよ。
Oh, come on, stop focusing Merlin. Well, at least now I have this.
楽園ご要望とあらば。
ベアナックル
Oops, meant to be the other way around, but oh well. What matters is I've got our healing going.
星の宇宙物見の楽園の端から君に聞かせよう。ダズになき者のに通るがいい。 ガーデン・オブ・アバロン切り込む
イエ
カルディアの灯火よ強運の星よ
Damn, stop focusing Merlin.
内熱衝
Let's just
撃
do
版
this.
装填します。
ーオーケー決めるぜ。
ご要望とあらば
Alright, forced him to focus on someone other than Merlin for a turn.
そんじゃ飛ばすんだ。エアハウリングゴールデンドライ。
あまり無理はさせないでほしいな
スマッシュ
切り込む豊穣の兆しよ明星のシルベールリラックスリラックス
Relax and relax.
ベア
示弾
ナックル
装填します。
クールスマッ
Go.
シ
強運の星よ
Of course he focuses Merlin.
カルディアの灯火よ
I think that's just bad RNG. I don't think he's programmed specifically to focus Merlin. Jason, use your heal, please.
当然だろ
We need to keep Toki up no matter what. And conquering the seas with friends. He's not an Argo member, but that should be perfectly fine, I think.
ュチキンレースだ俺。ベクー決め
So
る
this
ぜ。
brave change should deal a sufficient amount of damage.
スマッシュロケンロー
明星のシルベール
Yeah, that's-
天上の神々
don't have any switchable sub members. A bit painful. Guess I have no choice.
以前のようにはいきませんが、
Old Camelot and
神明凍結天下、
true name, frozen
これ
deployments.
は多くの地、多くの願いを受けた幻想の城。こうせよモールド・キャメロット。
そんじゃ飛ばすんだ。エアハウリングゴールデンドライ。
あまり無理はさせないでほしいな
せい
これはさすがに豊穣の兆しよ
Dang, I can use it again already. Fortunately, I have no way to protect him either.
内熱衝撃版装填
Tragic
し
seal of arousal.
オーケー振り落とされるなよ。
はい。
Alright, here we go. I don't know if we'll get the break bar or not, but if we do, I'm definitely using Command Seal to win.
そんじゃ飛ばすんだ。エアハウリングゴールデンドライ。
あまり無理はさせないでほしいな
畳みかけて
Go. His NP is up
天
and
は
I will
巡る
shatter you.
スターズコスモスゴッツアニムスアントリアンバースアニムスフィア
he had to harm himself to do that.
カルディアの灯火よ
Alright, let's see exactly what these buffs he used on himself do. Yeah, he never made it to Camelot or Mesopotamian. Oh, he reapplied all his buffs. How frustrating.
パラドクサビクタセット内熱衝撃板装填します示弾前に出まはい
Alright, I want to have that Buster Chain at the final one if it crits.
ブーストスターバーニャ突撃します確実に
強運の星よ天上の神々よ
Buffs.
以前はい示弾装填し
Let's
ま
go.
す
Mold Camelot.
神明凍結展開これは多くの後多くの願いを受けた幻想の城こうせよモールだカメロッタバーニャ突撃します確実に
王像の兆しよカルデ
Guys
ィ
barely
アの
doing
灯火
damage.
よ
前にはい示弾装填し
I
ま
just
す
need to keep spamming your NP. If I have to do this the cheap way, I will.
バーニャ突撃します確実に
王像の兆しよ
Ooh,
明
buff.
星
Oh,
のしるべ
lovely. Charge lost though, so that's a demerit on him. But I have my NP back, so I can do this to try and get more.
装填します神明凍結展開
If criticals can't beat him, I'll have to just beat him with the.
多くの願いを受けた幻想の城こうせよモールだカメロッタバーニャ突撃します確実に
強運の星よこれはさす
示弾はい
Go.
照準捉えましたバーニャ突撃します確実に
がに死は動かず
Stars are not light.
カルディアの灯火よ
オルテ示弾前に出ます神明凍結展開これは多くの後多くの願いを受けた幻想の城こうせよモールだカメロッタバーニャ突撃します確実に
明星のしるべ強運の星よ
Vulnerability.
内熱衝撃板装填します前に出ます示弾前に出ます
Alright. The good news is it looks like he only removes
Soldier.
buffs and
捉えました
only removes invincibility for the first NP, for the first Grand Order and Sphere he uses. All subsequent ones don't appear to pierce invulnerability, which is good for me.
スターズコスモスゴッツ
I must say, MASH has been absolutely incredible this as a chapter.
アニム
I just wish the Ortonax version with her offense wasn't so annoying to work with compared to her first one, which is a lot better. Interesting. Left. So he refreshes them on each NP, it looks like. Yeah, the more mold Camelots I can stack, the better, because that means he can't damage me.
神明凍結展開これは多くの後多くの願いを受けた幻想の城こうせよモールだカメロッタ
シルベール
Move buff.
強
Oh,
運の星
there
を
moves all buffs, not just one. How very, frustrating. I'm gonna be honest, that's flat out unpleasant, actually.
内熱衝撃板装填します。はい、示弾、はい。照準、捉えました。バーニア、突撃します。確実に。
カルディアの灯火よ明星のシルベール
以前の示弾、前に出ます。
Might as well keep up spamming Mold Camelot.
神明、凍結展開。これは多くの道、多くの願いを受けた幻想の城。こうせよ、モールだ。
Dang, Ash solo practically.
突撃します。確実に。
豊穣の兆しよカルディアの
It doesn't
灯
seem to have a
火よ
guts effect like the others did, so I think, keyword think, we're in good shape.
示弾、装填し、前に示弾、装填します。照準、捉えました。バーニア、突撃します。確実に。
豊穣の兆しよカルディアの灯火よ
前に出ます。はい。
We're gonna do this just so we can push the damage a bit further.
照準。
He doesn't seem to have a charge gain ability, so I
バーニア、突撃します。確実に。
強運の星よ豊穣の兆しよ
this could be the end.
パラドクスエフェクターセット。以前のように前、はい。神明、凍結展開。これは多くの
And it's gonna be embarrassing to have to use my command seals just for this last one here, but
こうせよ、モールだ。照準、捉えます。ブースト、スターバーニア、突撃します。確実に。
yeah, there's nothing I can do, unfortunately.
スターズコスモスゴッツ
Even if I used a single command seal to push her NP sooner, that wouldn't be enough because her NP doesn't deal damage.
アニムスフィ
How the hell is she alive?
シルベール
Oh yeah, because of her NP, that's why.
内熱衝撃板装填します。はい。示弾、前に出ます。照準、捉えました。ブースト、スターバーニア、突撃します。確実に。
カルディアの灯火よ強運の星よ
Now, do I want to push this? I could use Repair Spirit Origin and simply win, but then I can't use a revive against any... Well, I think this is the final battle.
神明、凍結展開。
Well, no, Kanan's still alive, but I don't think she's a Lancer. I don't think she can last very long once Wodemay's
こう
gone.
せよ、モールだ。バーニア、突撃します。
Yeah, one more chain, and she just has to survive. The space does not stop.
天上の神々
Oopa. It's over. I don't need my command seal after
示
all.
弾、前に出ます。
He can't survive this, so
照準、
he attempted
捉
to...
えます。ブースト、ストライク。
It's over. As long as he doesn't have a guts out of nowhere, of course, but...
確実に。
I will not be defeated. No. I shall never.
状況終了。
Dang, Mash really did some
そ
work
して充
here.
電に移行しますね、マスター。
I see, so this is the master you raised, Doctor. I feel as though I'm going to be blinded. I feel as though my heart's going to burst. I was never too worried about what happened if I collapsed along the way or if I lost my way altogether, because I trusted David would be there to carry wherever I left off. But amusingly, it seems there's yet another candidate stronger than me all along. Alright, that's for Atlantis. Indeed, you put up an incredible fight, my friend. It can fairly be said that you defeated me. Of course, that doesn't change the fact that you, like me, are so utterly spent you can no longer stand. So you accepted defeat. Does that mean you're going to shut down Atlas? I can't do that. At this point, not even my death will cause Atlas to stop. I'm afraid you're all going to become new gods whether you want to or not. For that, I'm truly sorry. Oh, so he lied. Dick. Once you have, you're free to use the Tree of Emptiness however you'd like. There may not be a way to defeat them now, but once your senses have been heightened to godly levels, I'm sure you'll eventually find a way to stop the foreign god's plan as we... The sky's burning. No, it's not the sky. Is that the Tree of Emptiness's branches? You two, get back. It is not safe. The branches are stretching across the sky, are setting fire to the Tree of Emptiness. What's going on with Atlas? Yeah, you mean the Tree of Emptiness is actually burning. How is this happening? Nothing should be able to burn a fully grown Tree of Emptiness from the outside. I know, that's why I burned it from the inside. Down another Tree of Emptiness right from its roots and use its branches to spread our wildfire to your tree. You said the tree's branches formed a network, correct? So I used them to deliver a little viral payload. Area behind you. Barrel. Damn, seriously, have you actually got eyes in the back of your head, Wodame? I could say the same to you, Beryl. I thought you'd be more careful than this. Even if you'd manage to kill me now, the Chaldeans are still alive and well, so I have a hard time imagining you'd make it out of here without a servant. Well, damn, aren't you Mr. Calm and Collected? Figure I was all kinds of eager to get my backstabbing on or something? Not until just now, no. To be honest, I'm still a little shaken. You have absolutely no reason to betray me, Beryl. Why are you interfering with my plan now? Don't you understand this will make you a god too? Once you are, you'll be free of the foreign god's control. You really don't get it, do you? Figures, of course you wouldn't. So hey, a different subject. Why were you so scared of the British Lostbelt? It's not like you ever came by to see it yourself, right? How did you know something had to be done about it? Because I spent a while thinking on it, and realized that it posed a different but equally serious threat as the foreign god themselves. Yeah, back in Lostbelt, I think 4, it was mentioned Beryl was forced to cut down the tree of emptiness for his Lostbelt, meaning it'll disappear on its own, theoretically, of course. It could only be a curse that would take this very planet down with it. Damn, seriously, I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounds like a hell of a thing. They're definitely a scary bunch, that's for damn sure, but hey, that's what made all this worthwhile. So as thanks, I'll let you know a little secret. I came to tell you why I came to your Lostbelt. Remember what I told you before about how I betrayed the Fae folk? Well, thanks to that, they got it out for me real bad. In fact, all I have to do is raise my voice and say, here I am, and they'd bring divine retribution on my ass, just like that. Karis, Adlai. Oh good, so you know what's coming then. Awesome, well so long, Wodame, it's been real. You two, get out of here. So whoever's in the British Lostbelt, he's having them attack. He's using himself as a beacon. Is that a Ringo mini-ad? Of course. Kashtar is right, we need to escort immediately. Then again, the sheer is so immense. Everyone this way, I can at least escape to the crown. It's no use, we'll never make it, especially given we're all still exhausted from our earlier battles. Queen Europa can likely only manipulate gravity and offer physical protection, it won't nearly be enough. Then again, even if we were able to teleport to Olympus proper, that light's gonna punch straight through everything in its path. No, this isn't over yet. It's a Rongo mini ad. It can't be stopped easily. I won't let this happen. I can't let the journeys end now. No, well, I guess you get to die after all. Especially since you're vulnerable as shit right now. It was implied Beryl was a serial killer before Chaldeus recruited him. And of course, the fact that they would bring a serial killer just because he can summon a servant and use them to save the world reliably is rather, Wanna know why you lost Woody Me? Because you're always too damn busy. You never been stupid as to let me handle Britain if you'd ever seen it for yourself. Originally I was just gonna burn down this tree of emptiness and head back to Britain, but after that bullshit speech, I pretty much had no choice but to take out your solitary ass. What was you said, everyone be a god unto themselves? That basically means a world where I can't kill anymore. To hell with that, I die of boredom for the end of the first day. I don't be some great enlightened version of myself. I'm okay with staying a piece of shit. So yeah, it seems an Artoria or someone else who has the power of Rongominiad is in Britain. I suppose the Knights of the Round are way too popular to not have a story chapter focused on that. Oh dang, that's red. Advent. Oh no. Section 2.4. Advent. Alright. Come on, once I've made mincemeat of you and the ground you land on, this will all be over. Ah, how could I not defend against these pitiful techniques of yours? I see, it's not only Poseidon protecting you, that's lightning, that's gold. Impudent, short-sighted whelp, how dare you hide your true strength? Shut up and just frickin' die. Damn it, why'd you have to take so long? Now I'm gonna hiss their whole bat. Oh no, looks like we may get a preview of what the alien god really is like, and that may be the true final battle. Glad I saved my command seals then. What's going on? Is that the foreign god getting in the way again? Why, no, it most certainly is not, I see. Well done, Beryl. I always knew you were a traitorous wretch, but I never dreamed you could be such a snake. Haha. Good, then I believe it's time I made my exit. Olympus is all but finished now, so my fun and games must come to an end. While this unfortunately means the perfected foreign god's advent will have to wait, my true self should be able to resolve matters soon enough, should he so decide. So in the meantime, I think I shall disappear, so I'm focused on preparing a new picture of hell to unleash. Damn, I'm sick. Sir just cut his own head off. Ah, screw that. Damn it, you better still be alive. Oh, come on, Kirsch, really? Shouldn't a superhuman god be able to heal up from a little cut like that? Ah, well, at least it made my job easy. All that's left now is to find a body bag and a Kirsch-sized hole in the ground. Ah, it's more like it. Man, it feels so much better without that uptight blonde prick around. You guys think so too, right? Hey, hey, Alex, feel better now that I got rid of that thorn on your side? I thought you guys were on the same side, something close resembling friends. Why, you already know who I am? Well, shucks. Think I'm gonna blush. Nice to have another dutiful kohai around. Can't say I care for the way you're glaring at me, though. Why, you don't have a problem with me, do you? What, really? Come on, guys, you don't want to do this. You're obviously hanging by a thread. Hell, you still haven't caught your breath from your old fight with old Kirsch here. You just stop glaring at me when you're all weak and invulnerable. I won't be able to resist killing you all, no matter how much I love my kohai. Just kidding, even I'm not that stupid. That servant of yours rocking the black trench coat's the kind of guy to save his energy right up to the end, right? I can tell. So, it's clear we'd end up taking each other out in a fight, so how about we just have a nice friendly chat instead? Right, Mash? I know you know what I'm talking about, right? You know that Barrel Gut's a stand-up guy. He's always willing to hash things out, right? Yes, well, statistically speaking, your advice was... No, even if your advice was statistically helpful, I was never able to understand why you acted the way you did at Chaldea. Is that so? Well, damn, girl. I must have earned your eye or something fierce, huh? Oh, but don't get me wrong, Mash. I'm thrilled to see this new side of you. Why did you come here? Ooh, as I live and breathe, a real knight in shining armor in the flesh. That's a model master for you. I really appreciate you stepping out on your own accord like this. Not only is your bravery real inspiring, you just made it much easier to go for your throat. Hey, isn't that your pretentious ass cloak on the floor? What's going on? What's going on? on. Shit, you're bleeding like crazy. Hang in there, damn it, don't you dare pass out. Still got a ton of stuff I gotta pay you back for. You can't die on me before I get the chance. Didn't you say you were gonna make every last one of those pieces of shit gods obsolete? Come on, just because the Olympian gods are done for doesn't mean you can rest on your laurels. You still gotta do something about the big bad foreign god, remember? Don't you dare go cold on me now. Well, damn, that was the perfect chain. Now the mood's gone to shit. Hell, I'm almost tearing up myself. Come on, Gainus, take it easy. Kashiri's dead, no sense dwelling on the past, yeah? You know, it's not like you and I are total strangers. Hell, you're the one who brought me here from Britain. So how about you jump ship and become my servant? And a woman like you'd be right at home in the British Lostbelt. Hell, stick with me and there might even be a domain or two. Win it for the future. A woman like me? It'd be one thing if the Chaldeans had killed him. Hirsch himself said him and Alex were on equal ground, but this wound clearly came from an ambush, and that's not Alex's style. You did this to him, didn't you, Beryl? Is it gonna be like that, huh? It's gotta be this way. It's enough. The battle for control of this tree of emptiness is over, and Chaldea has won. Surely there's nothing to gain from further infighting, is there? Ah. Kotamine. Day, everyone. I believe the last time we met was back in the Russian tundra, was it not? My capacity as another of the foreign god's disciples permit me to apologize on Limbo's behalf for his very rudeness. His very nature makes him incapable of not toying with the minds of others, you see. It was, I assure you, nothing personal. He treats everyone this way. Who asked you? Besides, I don't ever recall signing up for your side. I'm Kershia Wodime's servant. That's it. And now that he's shown his true colors, that makes me an enemy of the foreign god too. See, I'm sorry to hear that. And what of you, Beryl? We now know the Kashtaria leader of the Cryptors was a traitor, but we also know you killed him. Can I assume this means you remain on side? Hell yeah, you can. Like I always say, if you can't beat him, join him. I'm pretty sure he plans to betray everyone. I don't give two shits about the future of humanity. All I want is to have a good time. I didn't come back to life so I could become king of the earth or anything, so I'll go along with whatever you have to say. But then again, I can't help but wonder whether this foreign guy is really all that strong. Kashtaria saw to it they couldn't use Magellan here. And that woman back in the Britain sucked Seyfert's insides dry. Seyfert, that must have been his tree of emptiness that was there. So that a vessel for the foreign god to come down into, well, what happens next? Because it seems to me like the strongest one on this planet right now gotta be the king from my Lostbelt. So Beryl's not siding with the foreign god either? See, you've done your homework. Precisely the sort of thinking I'd expect from a purebred hunting dog like yourself. I take it that means the British Lostbelt is now officially opposing us then, Beryl? Since you appear to have sworn loyalty to their king, can I assume you're also speaking for Britain? Hell yeah, zoom away. The old lady outright told me I could do whatever I liked on her behalf. Besides, the Rungo mini-ad we just saw was a special sale her majesty whipped up just for the foreign god. We were always planning to taking Olympus out, no matter what Kashtaria got up to. Understood. The foreign god only saved Kashtaria from death, thus giving the foreign god control over his continued existence. And as Kashtaria was the one who saved your lives, the foreign god placed no restrictions on you. You're therefore free to live out the remainder of your days on this dying planet, however you choose. As an enemy of the foreign god, that is. Queen Skya, warp me to Britain right now. I don't know why, but I'm getting some serious chills. I gotta get out of here before it's too late. Well now, I was wondering when I'd get to make my entrance. How anticlimactic. But very well, Beryl. If nothing else, you do have an impressive nose for danger. Queen Skya, you're gonna take him away from here? Why, yes, I am. I offer a great many services. One of them includes taking a single cryptor on a single trip to the Lostbelt of their choice. Alright then. I looked at Chaldea. We at the NFF Services look forward to your future patronage. Assuming you make it out of here alive, that is. So Korean Sky is going over that side as well, I suppose it was time. She is the same class as our god after all. If she had stayed, it would only have been a matter of time till we were at each other's throats. But she says same class. So the foreign god is actually a beast of humanity? Alright, you're up, Miramasa. Go on, swing that katana of yours. This very moment is what the foreign god chose you for. Miramasa was a swordsmith and not a warrior. If he's able to fight, this means he's been powered up in some fashion. Can't believe it. Atlas's body is... I suppose I should assume the internal fires have left the Tree of Emptiness in a permanent state of incompletion, but never mind that now. The real problem is something's about to manifest inside Atlas's bispected spirit origin. Darn, I was hoping we could see Atlas himself real quick. Looks like it's a formless body of sorts. Did Atlas just get taken over? I'm detecting a powerful magic reactor core inside the Tree of Emptiness. I can't measure its magical energy levels with my current equipment, but wait. Spirit origin pattern. Fo. As foreseen by Trismegistus, this looks to be the final horn, the final beast crown of the 7 evils of humanity. Beast 7. So the foreign god is actually a beast of language, intellect, sharing, plane, mission, generating, come in. Do you read me? Fencing, advent. Am I about to fight? It's a foreign god, a version of Poe. Ha 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 ha. I can't see a damn thing. Turn down the lights. I guess they really like that kind of pale white outfit. Personally, I think it's a little loud. Maybe they could go with something black, white, and gold. They're definitely going with a. Wait a minute. I know who that might be. At long last, it's finally my turn. Thank you for waiting so patiently, my loyal disciple. And well done preparing a vessel for me to use from this empty planet. I'm pleased with the work you've done, even if it took longer than expected. So this is Earth, is it? I was curious what it was like after hearing gave my kin so much trouble. That doesn't look all that impressive. It's like how tiny it is. I can conquer this whole planet in less than a year. She's so tiny. She's so tiny, it's adorable. Why do I feel some faint brainwaves directed at me? See some of the plant's indigenous life forms. They're so weak. I guess they must be. This is the... all that aside, why am I not sensing any respect directed towards me? Wait, what is this pathetic body? My vessel's supposed to be made from the Tree of Emptiness, right? So why is this one so small? Master, I'm having a very difficult time following what's going on here, but I think the flowing being above us right now is both a beast that manifested inside the Tree of Emptiness and the foreign god themselves. But what I don't understand is, I know, is that a medal? Yeah, what has the foreign god done to earn a medal? Well, no matter, disciple, status report. You know what happened with Kshtaria, it seems things did not go entirely as planned. I'm afraid Seyfert's flames set Magellan ablaze before it could your body. While your spirit origin is unaffected, I suspect you may be unable to make full use of your authority as a result. So it would seem my body still has yet to fully enclose. Well, that is right, it will give me something to look forward to. I'm sure I can find something here that will make up for my deficiencies. In fact, I see a meal before me now that should do the trick nicely. Usually a single Lostbelt wouldn't be nearly enough to satisfy my cravings. Since I only just acquired this body, it should make a well-balanced wake-up snack. Seeing these insects buzzing around my appetizers, putting me right off my appetite. Well, I suppose bugs around a meal does make it a lot less tasty. Oh, those are the Chaldean stragglers. Why haven't you killed them? I thought you'd be above something as banal as heroes. You certainly don't look like they're all that capable of giving my disciples any trouble. For that matter, why don't they fear me? I thought those of this planet were obliged to hold gods in reverence. Yes, I know, it would be all too easy to ground them to dust beneath my heel, but I wish to sate my curiosity. Tell me, why do you not fear me? Aren't humans like you supposed to bow your heads, beg for enlightenment, submit to every whim of something great and powerful beings like myself? Well, I mean... You're Olga Marie right now, the original director of Chaldea. What? What is this earthling talking about? What is a director? Yeah, see, exactly. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't play this game, Olga Marie was the director of Chaldea at the start of the story, but ends up dying at the end of the tutorial. Looks like you've gone mad with terror. Well, then I'll be kind and explain. I'm a god who has descended upon this world in the void. I've come to right this planet's wrongs and eradicate its evil once and for all. As the ultimate ruler, I'll make Earth into a single nation and personally govern every last one of its people. Yes, I am the sovereign of Earth. Are you, Olga Marie? So the foreign god just wants world conquest, that's it? That seems surprisingly I really don't understand. I don't either, Mash. The alien god went to the trouble of resurrecting the cryptors, creating a new body, all that just to sit on a throne on Earth, on a planet they have no connection to. First she declares she isn't, now she claims she is? She's right, what in the world is going on? That's more like it. It sounds like you finally understand my godhood. I can sense brainwaves of fear and confusion. Now the time has come for me to wipe this planet clean of everything that once existed here. The human race, the Lostbelts, you lot, my disciples using sincerely heroic spirits for their vessels. Now that I have a physical body, I have no more need for any of you. Get out of my sight, beg for mercy and repent for your misdeeds, for even my infinite patience has finally reached its... If your patience is infinite, it can't have a limit. If it has a limit, it can't be infinite. That's not how that works. Dang. Oh, dang. Gravitational field. It's sucking up everything that isn't nailed down. Damn, it's even bigger than the Tree of Emptiness. If it keeps going like this, there really won't be anything left. Indeed, including us. It's really what you want on to Father Kutamide, because it seems like this god of yours has no qualms about even erasing her own disciples. This is what my god wants, and so be it. I only wish I could have been of more use to her. Well, I suppose he is a priest. It's only fair that he remains loyal to the end. If we use the black light on her, we could... Oh, but both the guns and ammunition... I'm sorry, we can't use the black barrel anymore. Besides, even if we could, I don't know if it would even be enough to defeat the foreign god. At this rate, it's going to suck up not just Olympus, but this entire Lostbelt. So I'm finally getting to see a beast in person. I don't need to use my noble phantasm to know humanity simply has no hope of defeating her. The sheer magnitude of her spirit origin alone vastly eclipses anything humanity could throw at her. There's simply no conditions that allow for our victory. Mesopotamia, Solomon's Temple of Time. Chaldea was only able to prevail in those situations because we were an unknown factor. Indeed, our very existence was an exception to the rule. We had almost excessive advantage in the environments where Beast 1 and 2 appeared. Therefore, no matter how outmatched we may have been, it was always possible for us to alter our fate. But this beast is different. She's had Chaldea in her sights since well before we were even made aware of her existence. We therefore have lost the one advantage we have had in the other fights. Unfortunately, even if the Storm Border were to arrive now, the beast would simply wipe them all out. It's elementary, my dear Leonardo. There's simply nothing we can do. I wish I didn't have to say this, especially after you entrusted me seeing this mission through, but wait, Leonardo. Sorry, Master. I'm afraid there's no possible way for us to turn things around. So you're not even going to try and fight back, Earthlings? How silly of me. Of course you can't fight back. I don't know why I ever thought you could. I suppose it all makes sense. There is no version of humanity in this universe capable of surpassing me. All that aside, you Earthlings truly are pathetic, aren't you? You're so tiny and powerless, it's like looking through a microscope at bacteria at a petri dish. Aha. Well, the thing about that is bacteria in a petri dish are still capable of causing you great harm if, depending on the type and where they attack a body. And I imagine that's what we're gonna have to do to win. Huh? Dang. Yeah, I didn't control that. It scrolled up on its own. Sorry, I'm afraid there's no possible way for us to turn things around. Come now, it's not like you could be so rash, or your powers of reduction simply nullified when you attempt to apply them to an alien being. Odime is still alive. Well, now that almost makes it sound like we're friends. Didn't see that coming, but I can't say I dislike it. Sure, Wodime, I didn't realize we're still alive. We may just have magical crests. We don't go down that easily. Holmes, you just said there was no possible way for you to turn things around. That depends on how you look at it. For example, my victory would be my plan to slay the god succeeding, and my loss would be it failing. Now that the Atlas tree has been razed to the ground, the foreign gods descend upon this world. My plan has ended in abject failure. It represents a complete and total loss for me. There's no hope of me turning things around now. But the same is not true for you. For you, loss would simply be dying, and victory would be living. So even if the foreign gods descended upon this world, even if all you can do right now is run away, merely surviving ensures your victory. And since you haven't truly lost, you'll still have a chance to turn things around. I understand this is all a bit much coming from me, since I'm the one who invited the foreign god here in the first place, but oh well. Now then, I think it's time I played my last card. Rest assured, I won't let the foreign god get away with this. Even if it is ultimately fated to vanish once the Tree of Emptiness is gone, I will protect Olympus right to the end. After all, I promised Zeus that I would. I'll make sure the foreign god goes away, though I can only do so temporarily. Now get out of here, I'm afraid you'd only get in my way. Are you sure? I mean, you're obviously badly hurt. Don't worry, it's not as bad as it looks. I've still got plenty of fight left in me. It's a shame you and I weren't able to finish our duel, though. We'll just have to take a rain check on that. At any rate, you've got much more work ahead of you than I do. I'm sorry about this. I wish I didn't have to ask you to take on such enormous responsibility again. It's okay, I've come too far to lose now. That was a bit... I accidentally double-clicked and got that, but it's the one I probably would have chosen anyway. Mr. Holmes. Very well, you have my word. I'll do everything in my power to give Chaldea a chance to turn things around. Good, I'm relieved to hear that. Alright then, this is goodbye. Before you go, Mash, let me give you one word of advice. I won't deny that as a cryptor, I considered you and the Master my most dangerous enemies, and I tried to eliminate you accordingly. I did so because at the time I firmly believed that was to be what was right. That to be what was right. But of course, humans are fundamentally incapable of making the right choice. So the least we can do is keep shamelessly moving towards those things we've chosen, right or wrong. I believe that's what it means to be human. We are nothing if not great at rationalizing our actions. Still, trust me to tell you that there's no need to fight to massage a guilty conscience or atone for past misdeeds. Don't forget, the reason you left Chaldea to go on a journey was to get as much out of it as possible. I'm afraid the palace won't last much longer. We must evacuate to the great shrine. Quickly. Right. Akasteria, thank you for everything you did for me. I wish we could have all talked a lot more. They're gone, Canis. Why do you stoop? Can't see for... Yeah, they're gone. Yeah, she obviously can't see straight. They left her sorry ass behind. Didn't even look back, so you don't gotta worry about them. I'm a business bitch up. Hell, I'll leave and let you lean on me. Thank you, that'll be a big help. What about you, father? Aren't you going to stop me? Not at all. Not unless the foreign god specifically gives the order to eliminate you two. I'm only here to serve as a witness. Truth be told, it should be quite educational. No matter how powerful one may be, this planet still follows its own rules. This will be an excellent way for the foreign god to learn that lesson. Well, in that case, don't mind if I do. Stars, cosmos, gods, animus, antrum, unbirth, anima, amusphere. There are yet the lights of stars in the void, illuminate the earth, stale off the sky, and illustrate the coordinates of the heavens. May you be a guide. Voyagers, one more time, O light of Chaldea. Oh, so that was what cut through the foreign god. We can destroy the physical body on Earth, in the very least, that it won't have a physical body to arrive on Earth, and they can't do anything to us. Something one is not born with. I suppose experience would be the most logical answer to this, since that's something you can only get with Jim. About to tell you took place in spring when I was 15 years old. Back then, I thought the future was bright and full of hope. I was born into an environment far better than most could hope for, talents far greater than most could dream of. I knew I was destined for great things, that my purpose was to see them done, to create something beautiful, something wonderful. It was my ideal, that passion that made me apply myself to my studies day in and day out, and as a result, his own father turned against him. I ended up in this filthy dump. I found myself in a place that would never give rise to ideals or principles of any sort. Pain in my chest made me gasp. I couldn't move my limbs at all, but fortunately, I was still able to treat the wound on my chest. Since I had been chosen to take over the family in lieu of my father, I possessed magical crests that had been reinforced over 11 generations. It was designed specifically to heal its bearer in the event they suffered any injury, even if they could not do so themselves. But now the crest was no longer functioning, its mana was stagnant, like anecdotes in Curse's department. I knew I must have been poisoned with an anti-mage toxin, one designed to attack its target in its nerves and blood. Enough time had passed for the toxin to work through my body. Both my crest and circuits were completely dead. I could no longer counteract the toxin myself. I would require assistance. That means he can no longer use magic anymore. The situation could have been worse. I was trapped in enemy territory, and what strength I had was fading fast. The only hope I had of surviving was if my grandfather noticed something amiss and sent someone to rescue me. Problem was, I had no way of knowing if I would last that long. Hee, awake, awake. Especially with more of my father's assassins looking for me. Hee. Felt as though the basement's room, already pungent stench, had already gotten worse. The boy was wearing a coat someone else had clearly thrown away, and his hair hadn't been washed in years. He must have carried me where he lived when he found me crawling through the alley after the attempt on my life. I can only guess he thought he could make money off me based on my close appearance. Hee. Still alive, still alive. Hearing the boy digging through a can full of garbage, I was unable to hide my disgust. I was deeply ashamed by the fact such a pitiful creature had saved my life. Eat, treasure, treasure. Here, eat. Pressed a piece of completely stale, moldy bread up to my mouth. Forced me to eat it, wiping crumbs from my face, the sleeves. Filthy sleeves. Whatever his intent, his efforts were far from helpful. My wound had closed, my digestive system was only barely working. Rather than help me recover, eating barely edible food will only upset my stomach, making condition work. It's good, eat. But I lack both the strength to resist and the energy to refuse, so I reluctantly opened and choked down the rock-hard bread. Once I managed to finish the food he forced, the boy stepped away from my bed with a satisfied smile. He moved to the corner of the room where he sat, so I can continue his unsettling laugh. I was racked with both chest pain and shame about the predicament I had found myself in. I realized there was nothing I could do, so I simply lay back and closed my eyes. This would all be over in a few hours. Anyway, my assailant was almost surely a mage, so it would be trivial for them to track me down. It was only a matter of time until they discovered this place and came to finish me off while I was still incapacitated. Any help that might have been on its way would never get here in time. Not even a god could rescue me from the situation. But my assailant never showed, even after several days. I think I must have spent about 10 days in that hard wooden bed without ever getting up. My body was paralyzed by that point. I must have gotten accustomed to my environment. Slowly but surely I took stock of my current situation. Here, eat this too. I'd like to have some water instead. Back of this shed was located under a bridge with one silver lining. Thanks to it, we had access to portable water, even if it wasn't entirely clean. Better. Say, how long have you been living here? Never mind, eat. My best guess is the boy had been living here since he lost his guardian years ago. This shed, his home, must have belonged to his guardian. Even now, I don't know if his parents abandoned him or if he was an orphan from birth. He had very little in the way of language skills. This was hardly surprising, given he could not have had a single real conversation with an adult in all of his life. What's your name? Surely you must know that much. I was in shock. I couldn't believe there was a child in this day and age in a modern city who didn't even know what names were. No more than that, I wonder how he managed to stay alive on his own all this time. Scary, everyone's scary. Hide here, safe hide, always safe. As the boy told me this, he stroked a pendant he wore around his neck. Well, I'll be. Even though I couldn't use magecraft, I could tell the boy was holding a mystic code of concealment. What's more, it was an antique of incredible value. A talisman that belonged to a sect of witches who had been living in England's deepest forest since even before Clock Tower was founded. Now I see, that explains it. No wonder my assailants hadn't been able to find me. The room I'd been staying in was rendered almost completely invisible. You're right, that really is a treasure. I couldn't bring myself to ask the boy if his parents had left him the talisman or if he discovered it. At least now I understood the situation. It was the pendant that enabled him to carry me here without being seen. It must have also been what enabled him to safely borrow food from nearby stores. I couldn't make up mind whether the situation was encouraging or depressing. It was thanks to that pendant the boy had been able to survive on his own all this time. It is also thanks to that pendant he never needed to become involved with anyone else. In a very real sense, he had slipped through the cracks of society. Unsure of what to say to him, I ended up saying nothing. It's okay, it's okay. It's pretty my treasure. The boy gave a big smile while gently tucking the pendant away, never grasping my true intentions. Even thinking on it back, it makes my chest ache. Several more days passed. I made a number of new discoveries. Always saw you on bridge, I saw. That finally jogged my memory. The boy was the vagrant I'd seen when crossing the bridge. Always saw you, always. Never understood what I must seem like to him. No, I'll go further. I should never presume to think I could understand. All I can say is that as far as he was concerned, I was someone he'd seen crossing the bridge, and that was enough for him to help me. The boy may have been ignorant, but he wasn't stupid. On his own way, he understood the current situation too. For starters, he never once left the room. Some part of him understood that if he went outside, even with a pendant, there's a chance people who attacked me would discover us. So for almost 2 weeks, he fed me using food he already had on hand. What's wrong? Is there a problem? No, no. No problem here. Safe, safe. I see. Well, that's alright then. Even having grown accustomed to this environment, I was beyond exhausted. I still couldn't move my limbs. My strength was no closer to returning. No surprise, the food was giving me had no nutritional value whatsoever. While his pendant may have kept us safe from his assailants, it also kept me hidden from my allies. I sighed loudly in despair and closed my eyes. As I slept, I dreamt of my body rotting away like a decaying tree until I finally died. Oh, wake up, wake up. It was the first time the boy had ever woken me of his own accord. Eat food. Eat up lots. Voice broke in shameless excitement. His hands, he was carrying a basket filled with bread. And not stale, moldy bread, leftover bread he'd been giving me so far, as the bread had clearly been freshly baked that morning. This is amazing, although this is bread. Don't understand, I appreciate this if you're going. Anyway, but nice, we've got some other thing too. Here, food, eat. I didn't realize until later the boy had only stale bread on hand. It was because for the entirety of life he'd never known any other sort of meal. I didn't understand it back then, since mine had been a life of luxury. Unfortunately, there was something else I failed to notice too, something much, much more important. Don't mind if I do? This is much easier to eat, it's great. The boy suddenly fell on the bed as if he tripped on a rock, his arms clinging to the top near my pillow. He looked like a child dozing off their desk. Are you okay? The boy had always looked malnourished. I hadn't even noticed how sunken his cheeks now were, or fresh bruises on his body. He'd been living alone all this time. Of course he wouldn't have enough food on hand to feed 2 people. The only reason he had any was because nobody had stopped him from taking it, thanks to the pendant. Food he had on hand was only enough for one person, enough for him to survive on his own. And ever since he'd taken me in, he'd never so much as set foot. He knew that if left with a pendant, this room would no longer be safe. So he left it behind to keep me safe. In an instant, it was clear as day what he'd done. He must have been accosted and beaten over. Since he'd barely beaten a thing, a malnourished child simply could not endure such punishment. No, he couldn't have. No one ever do something so patently foolish. He may have been ignorant, but he was smart. He'd never willingly choose this, right? Still on the bed, the boy looked at my face as I lay there gazing at the stars. Pretty. No, hang in there. You have to. So pretty. At the time, I wasn't overcome with grief, shock, or anger. I was just done with my own stupidity. I was completely and utterly fed up with how foolish I had been to look at the future, without seeing or relating to those I'd previously treated as though they didn't exist. Here's something beautiful, born to be a king, a born genius. What a joke. No, jokes are at least funny. I had no idea what I'd been talking about. I bragged endlessly about creating beautiful things, trusting that simply calling them beautiful was enough. I never once stopped to think about what it was I considered beautiful. The boy's value hadn't changed. He'd wasted his life on something foolish and stupid as saving me. I was from the upper crust, he was from the bottom of the barrel. Without it much was clear from what we were each bound to contribute to the world in years to come. But still, could I do what he did? Could I risk my life solely to keep a perfect stranger from starving? Could I risk my life without receiving anything in return, all for something I felt was beautiful? Why, of course. I can do that. I roused my body from its long slumber, very literally burning my soul for energy. I could feel my magical circuits, a gift I had all my life, practically physically crumble away. And after paying that steep price, too little too late, I had every roll the boy. That's right. If he could do it, then I had to as well. Now that he had shown me it was possible, it was incumbent upon me to pay him back. For what he lacked in property, he more than made up for in benevolence. I need to set my sights higher. I need to be stronger than ever. I shamelessly shoved food into my mouth, silently wailing my cells back to life. I had no time to regret or self-pity. No, I had a job to do, and I was determined to see it done. That was an entirely new motivation. I certainly wasn't born with these convictions. If my life continued as planned, my new ideal would have never occurred to me. But now I vow to dedicate my life to it, to take the many gifts I was given, gifts that boy couldn't even dream of, and use them to demonstrate the value of human life for as long as my own lasts. After taking the full force of Kashira Wodime's serious lights, the foreign god disappeared from the sector of space. Whether she was forced to retreat due to injury or simply did so reflexively in response to an unexpected strike, that was unclear. The last time we saw Sirius Light was Ophelia back in Lostbelt 2, and we now know the cryptors all have it, and it cost them their life to use it. Luckily, most of them were able to get out without losing their lives. However, this does also mean we have to worry about it for the last remaining 2. That said, at least the good news is I doubt Beryl is going to be dumb enough to use it, since he only cares about anything about himself. But I guess at the same time, it does also mean if he's cornered, he has nothing to lose, since he doesn't care about anyone else's safety but his own. And if he's already lost, well, he might try to take us down with him. We must be extremely careful of him. Regardless, her exit meant that Olympus would be spared immediate destruction, left only the master and his servant behind in the palace. So much for that. In retrospect, I may have set my sights a bit, too high. What the hell's smart about you, idiot? You look like a kid who just got caught with his hand in the candy jar. Oh, irony. The servant knelt down beside their master despite the insults that continued coming. Painfully aware now that he would never walk again now that the bottom half of his body had been obliterated. Master rested what remained of himself on the floor as it crumbled beneath him and turned to look up at the sky. Damn, that Sirius Light was some serious shit. Ophelia didn't do anything close to that. Well, this is how they were originally supposed to be used. Director Mosbury told me that in confidence. He said that if things ever look truly bleak, I should use mine to save the world. No pressure, right? The master coughed dryly and brittlely as he spoke. His cough sounded as though he sounded like the rattling of dead tree branches. There's no more sign of melodic, spring-like that had previously been a fixture of his voice. Say, and I thought all of Chaldea's directors weak and pathetic. Sounds like this Marsbury punk was one hell of a guy. Never would have guessed. Yes, he was. I always did respect him, but he turned out to be far more capable than me. He may have been an avid scientist who only cared about his research, but he was also just as dangerous as you'd expect for one of Clock Tower's 12 lords to be. Master laughed, acknowledging his defeat. There was no trace of regret in his voice. I must admit, I never guessed that you would be so willing to cooperate with Chaldea. I was so shocked I spilled my tea when I heard you join their side just like that. I thought that would have taken considerably longer. Part of me was even a bit jealous. For a moment, I wonder if it meant you'd join anyone who defeated you. Hey, it wasn't just like that, and they never defeated me. It was all because Poseidon messed up. Then, what convinced you? Guess it was Chaldea leader asking me about you. Said he wanted to know about what Kashira Wodime was like now, not as a mage, but as a person. I think that was the big reason I helped him out this long. Well, that doesn't sound very much worth your while. You've been helping him all this time without anything in return? Who said I didn't get anything out of it? In exchange, I had him tell me a shit ton of stories about you from your clock tower days. Ah, some born champion you turned out to be. Turns out you're nothing but an overly cautious, stubborn as hell coward. Guess both the Dioscuri and Ophelia were completely wrong about you all along. The servant laughed joyously. It wasn't laughter meant to mock ones who'd misunderstood the master. It was meant to commend him for keeping up such a perfect front for so long. The master looked up to his servant as though he'd heard the laughter, squinting, as if they were too bright to look upon. His eyesight had clouded over, and his breathing had already sharp and shallow. What about you? Got anything you still want to say, or anything you still want to do? Go on, let me hear it. I can do this that much for you. Still want to do, huh? And so, one small piece at a time, the master told his servant about what-ifs. He explained how each crypto was required to have an accomplishment worthy of overturning their death in order to bring them back to life. So the foreign god created environments, customized subjective worlds that would let the dead cryptors achieve such a thing. The master was then shifted to these worlds that might have been, yet never meant to be. There, he and his fellow cryptor undertook a journey to restore humanity. Hello, Reiji, Mike. Sorry, I'm a bit caught up in the story. It's definitely pretty good, that's for sure. Damn, seriously? So what, you saved the world with them? Only as part of a simulation, they were nothing compared to the real singularities. Haddock and I came to trust each other. Ophelia and I shared a laugh with each other. Hood and I helped each other. Beryl and I disagreed with each other. Pepe must have saved me dozens of times. Aro may seem frivolous, but he has a strong sense of integrity. I really enjoyed getting to understand them better, getting to know their lives. But all the time... Okay, so that's what he was flashing back to. Basically, each of them was in a singularity with him, and that's how he grew to know each one personally and how they learned each of their skills. But all the time Master spent with his teammates was no more than a dream, an illusion that was broken the moment his accomplishment was complete. Now the only time this whole world remembered their trying but important journeys was the Master himself. And you still treat him like that? Why, is your heart made of stone or something? What else could I do? If I told them, they wouldn't know what to make of it. So I just kept it all to myself, just like any other dream. More precisely, he locked the experiences away so that he would never look at them again. Make sure that regardless of what happened, they would never fade away. Journey to restore humanity, huh? That might not be the best way to put it. But if it were all possible, I really wanted to save the world with everyone in Team A, together. Master truly loved his teammates, not as their leader, but as their friend. They're the same, the servant thought bitterly. Master and Chaldea's master were in the exact same position. As his breathing slows, one last thought flirts across the master's mind, like a shooting star in the night sky. How will you thank you, idiot? You didn't have to try so hard all by yourself. Huh. I'm glad to hear you say that, Canis, but you're wrong. I was never by myself. All humans are trying to do their best. Like hell they are. Don't you ever pull that shit with me. There is no answer. His soul is already gone. The servant turns towards the sky as though watching a bird trying to fly away. Mistakes flood the servant's mind. Unquenchable hatred pounds the servant's heart. The servant wasn't about to reject their past or previous actions. The pride this heroic spirit held refused to sully the very nature of a hero. After all, the servant had been the one who laughed at the world of humans, the one who mocked and wreaked havoc upon it. That aspect would never change. The servant was well aware they were a villain who hated humans and despised gods, shunned what was right and embraced what was wrong. But even so, in spite of all that... Damn it. I'm the idiot. Even if everything about us/her was evil, they remembered what they were meant to protect, even as they regretted failing to do so. Flying off like a phoenix, they took up the spear of lightning, and a golden bird took flight. Their next actions would not be for their own glory, but to show they were indeed the right heroic spirit for the Master. It's all coming apart. Olympus itself is collapsing. One day, at the Beyond. Section 26. That looked just like Ophelia's. There you are, it's about time we finally got a decent connection. Right then, this is Gordolf Musik, commander and pilot of the Storm Border. Do you read me? You do read me, yes? I'm just going to assume you can and tell you all that I have to say. Just finished making emergency repairs of the border and are our way to rendezvous with you at top speed. We're all caught up in a situation thanks to our video feed. We now know the Tree of Emptiness was burned down from the inside, the mysterious light came down from the sky, and the foreign god appeared inside Atlas and claimed to be Olga Marie Amusphere. I'm still trying to make sense of it all, but never mind that for now. Which building are you in right now? The Great Shrine, the Cronus Crown. The Cronus Crown's starting to fall apart, so if you're there, hurry to the Great Shrine immediately. We should be able to fly in and extract you from there. What's that? I'm asking impossible? Never mind that, just get it done. Not to worry, Director Gordolf. We've already managed to escape to the Great Shrine. Once we've made our through the Machina Corridor and reached the Hanging Gardens, we intend to try and make our way down the city. You can't. The Great Shrine's crumbling from the bottom up. You'll never make it down to the city. Quick, does anyone know where the most stable point of the shrine is? If it's stability you seek, I suggest you make your way to the altar. It is in the very middle of the shrine. It is a holy zone used to receive Lord Zeus's revelations right to the very end. It will not be quick to fall apart. It should take us about 20 minutes to make it to the Olympian airspace, so try to evacuate to the altar by then. Understood, then we better make our way before the Machina Corridor starts to collapse as well. Fo! Ah, I see that furry little breakfast thief is safe too. At any rate, hang in there until we come to rescue you on the border. Administrative Advisor, Mash, Alex, Macarios, Adele, Queen Europa. You all better hang in there until the captain arrives, which he will. Guaranteed. Now all of Olympus is falling apart. The sounds of destruction echo through the holy vessel. Holy vessel ring, Cronus crown, the great orbital shrine Olympia Dodona. A cacophony of destruction reverberates throughout every— Dang, they really had a thesaurus on hand, didn't they? Through every district in Olympus. Both the crown and the shrine, once thought immutable and eternal, were falling apart before everyone's eyes. Even the great crystal mountains had begun to fracture. Rubble rained down upon the city, people huddled on the ground, not even daring to look up at the sky. The heavens had begun to collapse, Olympus itself groaned horribly, straining at the seams. The death cries of an entire city echo across its districts. The people huddled together in branch shrines, believing destruction would stop once the gods heard their prayers. Ooh, sorry about that. Yeah, to no avail. Unfortunately, the ones who hear those are, no longer available. We thank you for your service. The rumble continued to fall, crushing some of the branch shrines and districts surrounding them. Most people prayed fervently for the disaster to come to a swift end. They prayed and hoped, believing the gods would protect them. They believed their friends and family who had suffered painful deaths would soon come back to life. But in time, some people waiting for their loved ones' return realized the truth. No one would be revived, no one was left to protect them. The Cronus crown's collapse would continue unabated, and there would be no revelations from the great orbital shrine. The gods would remain silent. For now, at long last, there were none left in Olympus. Sorry about that. As time passed, more and more people realized the events they were experiencing portended their Lostbelt's destruction. They fell silent one after another, despair and resignation shutting their mouths tight. Fortunately, we knew this would happen once we defeated Lostbelt, but we don't have a choice. So, in order to restore our world, it's really rough. Some have fell. I'll talk about the story a bit after the end. We're very close to it now, so I'll give my final thoughts once I reach there. There's the first pall of silence, devoid of even a single prayer, that had fallen over Olympus in over 10,000 years. Not much further to the altar now. Just about 10 minutes to go, it looks like, according to the other option. The floor is fracturing. Everything is falling to the city below. We can't use this route anymore either. Come on, let's head back to the intersection. Oh, don't just watch your step. Keep an eye on what's above you, too. You guys are flesh and blood humans, so even a little falling debris could end up killing you. Right, I'll be fine, but Senpai is... That goes for you too, Mash. With the Ortonax's output so low right now, you're not much more durable than an ordinary human, so please be careful. Right, I will. The situation certainly seems dire. While we do have some floating mystic codes prepared, we simply no longer have enough magical energy to make use of them. We could never make them last long enough for the storm border to reach us, and there's no guarantee we wouldn't end up hurtling to our deaths. I'm afraid I don't have much magical energy remaining either, but there may be something I can do. Adele Macarios, I'm going to use last of my magical energy to provide the children of Chaldea a defensive bounded field and a floating spell. While I would be very grateful if you could help me, whether you do so or not is up to you. Europa. Of course we will, Lady Europa, as Adele said. Wait, a bounded field and a floating spell could be a huge help, but why stop at just us? Operation God Destroyer is complete now. Even the Tree of Emptiness is finally gone. This is our new future, the one we've been dreaming on for a long time. Right, today's finally different from yesterday. I'm sure our cells are growing again for the first time in forever. Finally pick up from where we left off 10,000 years ago. That's all we need. Besides, we're not as weak as you guys, so we can get down from the shrine on our own. What Macarios said. Even if this Lostbelt does soon return to its original form, our time is only just beginning. Take care, everyone. Thank you for everything. The time we got to spend together may have been gone in the blink of an eye, but I enjoyed every second of it. Enjoyed it too, and that's exactly why. Come on, now don't look at us like that. We all accomplished what we set out to do, right? I admit, there's a number of times I thought it might be hopeless. I mean, I could tell from the first time I saw you guys you weren't bad people. I thought we might be screwed when it came to the operation. We really came through. We gave us the tomorrow we were hoping for. Feel it now, this very moment. We're in a different day now than we were yesterday. We're finally growing again. This Lostbelt may end up disappearing, but even so, I still feel as though anything could happen today. This is what I've wanted, what I've long since hoped to feel. So thanks. I know most Olympians probably consider you guys to be the most evil people ever, but yes, most Olympians likely do very well think that right now. We don't, not one bit. Isn't that enough? I'll never forget you guys, even if this world is never meant to exist. So as long as you guys remember us proudly, that's plenty meaningful right there. We'd rather you remember us like that than keep on living aimlessly forever. Yes, you're right. Thank you so much for helping us to get this far. Fo. Thank you, Makari Sadeli. As much as I'd like us to stay together until the Lostbelt's proper deletion, we don't have time for that right now. We don't have time to grieve, but there'll be plenty of time afterward. I'd like to thank you all as well. Thank you for watching over Lord Zeus's loving heart and over Olympus's pride. May you all live on, children of Chaldea. O beloved Zeus, send your winds from the far reaches of humanity to aid these travelers, and may your protection keep them safe from all manner of disaster that may befall them. That's right, not the Lostbelt Zeus, but our Zeus, the proper human history Zeus. Worked. We now have a defensive bounded field and a flight spell. Bye Mash, bye Holmes, bye Foe. Hi everyone. Your proper human history humans might be weak, but you're still a great master anyway. You proved that beyond a doubt when you faced off with the other masters. Zeus himself called a friend and won. You twins were amazing too. Oh come now, you're lumping us both together like that? You could at least try and compliment us more individually. Oh dang, they made an entirely new scene for this. Fly away, Chaldea, fly away. Make sure you land somewhere far from here. Give our best to everyone on the border and to all the other people in the world once you save them. Man, you're amazing, Queen Europa. They're already so hot I can't even see them anymore. You think they'll be okay? Hope they don't get hit by a buoy or anything. Not to worry, the gods will surely protect them. Yes, I have no doubt the gods who fell here. The gods from proper human history. Indeed, that would be lovely. Makarios? What is it, sister? Remember we said we can get down from the shrine on our own? You weren't very convincing. Ah, man, I can't even believe you could tell I was lying. I'm sorry, you two. There's nothing to apologize for. For your majesty, we wanted them to take the sky and they did. That's all we need. Proper human history, huh? They never did tell us much about it. I wonder what it's like. Must be a wonderful world if it managed to produce people like them. Yeah, definitely. But then we really did the right thing. That's what's gotta be best for Olympus. Curious. I'm not regretting this. I've been dreaming of this day since forever. This is exactly what we wanted. Now everything's gotta go. Don't do this, Makarios. Sorry, sis, but I gotta say this. You know what? What? Don't get me wrong, I really do think this is for the best. I'm not just saying that, I really mean it. That's why I've been able to keep fighting for so long. But all that said... I know we've killed the gods and betrayed all the other Olympians, but if there's ever a chance, even tiny, of having one wish granted... I don't even know who could possibly grant it now that the gods are all gone, but there's a tiny part of me that feels like if somehow I could have one wish granted, just once I could have seen beyond tomorrow. And especially, I wish I could have seen what you're like when you were grown up. Oh, silly. You didn't have to tell me that. I've always felt the same way. One day at Beyond. Seems we have one last fight. Guess it's good I saved my command seals for this then, unless it's easy, in which case I'm gonna feel terrible. Beep beep. I can see everyone's spirit origins. Looks like they're floating, but I'll go ahead and guide them to the deck. Engineers, switch the border to thruster mode. Maintain airborne altitude until the team is safely inside the ship. Roger that, no problemo. Okay, now where's the thruster controls again? I thought I told them to wait in the altar. Why'd they have to go the extra risk of using flying magecraft? Well, nothing done for it now. Open the deck hatch. The deck hatch. As soon as we collect the field team, we're getting out of this airspace faster than you can say skedaddle. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I have an emergency report before we get that. A powerful spirit origin signal is heading towards us from the palace. It will reach the ship in 10. So we're still not out of the woods? What in the world will we have to deal with now? One final duel, it would seem. We actually managed to make it back. I almost can't believe it. Right. It looks like Europa's defensive bounded field's gone now. Indeed, it was absolutely a perfect spell while it lasted. No question as to why she was queen of the gods. Not for her delicate magecraft, I rather doubt we would have flown this far in safety. What are you just standing there for? Get to the hatch. There's an unidentified spirit origin heading in 3, 2... Ah! Oh, Canis is at full power, it seems. Hey there, so your bugs really did make it out of here alive. Good, wouldn't be any fun otherwise. But weaseling out of tight spots is one of the things you do best, right? New flying here was the right choice. So where are the twins in Europa? Ah, they're dead. Well, that figures. No point in saving their lives now, right? So, you went around when pulling all the shit you wanted, decided to scram before it got real, huh? I like that. Hell of a lot less cleanup that way. Only problem is, the assholes got no business being the only ones to make it get out of the scot-free. What do you think? Canis? Canis? Oops, bumped the mic there. As in Canis the Divine Spirit. She managed to survive too? Well, isn't that just grand? Go ahead and invite her to celebrate the victory. Hold on, are you sure that's really Canis? That spirit origin pattern doesn't match the one in our records at all. While Canis did have some divinity mixed in previously, now there's divine aura emanating out of spirit origins every pore. It's almost like a purely divine spirit. That's precisely it, Gordolf. I don't know how this happened. Canis, as she appears right now, is quite clearly a god in her own right. In fact, at this moment, it would be no exaggeration to say, call her a direct proxy of the sea god himself. Keep that closed for now, Gordolf. There's about to be a battle up here. But why? Our battle's over. Ah, shut up. You should have hung up with Mustache a while ago. Detective, perception as always, I'll give you that. We really don't need a peanut gallery getting on our way during a fight to the death. Canis, there's no reason to fight us anymore. You've already lost your master, and any reason you might have had to protect this Lostbelt. Despite all that, you still wish to battle us. You done? So now we know what your servant thinks, Alex. How about you? Got anything to say? Well, only this. You're not gonna go back down, are you? Hell no. This unfinished business ain't gonna finish itself. You punks brought down freaking Olympus. That's huge. I couldn't ask for more worthy opponents. And hey, I might not be your typical Greek heroic spirit, but that's what I am. And if there's one thing we all know Greek heroes are about, it's revenge, right? Sounds almost farcical here from you, Canis, given how much you despise Olympus, but I can't deny your will to fight. Your drive and your spirit are more united than ever before. This must be your final destination, the one you failed to reach during your lifetime. It seems you finally arrived at your answer. Then as such, we are obligated to respond accordingly. Even this battle is entirely unnecessary. Yeah, Master, I'm aware your magical energy has also long since reached its limits, but can you do this? Of course. Let's go, Canis. Ah, well look at you. A damn weakling of a master glaring at me like you actually know your shit. Fine, let's go. When we're done, all that's left of you and your servants will be dangling from my spear. One last thing, remember my name. I'm the one who made Poseidon pay for violating man and took his place as a god in recompense. I'm the foolish king who lost himself to the vices of killing, violence, anger, and pride. Right now, all I do for my contracted master. I am Canis, the divine spirit. I am the only servant who Wodime truly trusted. Cherry. Please set mash as starter. Guess we're gonna go with more Hakosai now. Hakosai should be more than powerful enough to finish this. I do wish I could have brought us something else for a support, though. I need someone who can defend against, I guess she has a guts, as does... No, I need someone else. Then again, do I have anyone else who can even give a guts? I don't have very many people who can give other characters charge. I don't need a plug suit for this. I'm going to bring something to protect my, Kosai. That's good. To battle. Purely defensive. Although I guess since I have my command seals, I could freely use them. There aren't even any events coming up on it at the time of streaming. Well, there are events, just none that I need to farm, so I don't need to worry about challenge quests or anything either. You destroyed the gods. You conquered Olympus. Will you be able to show me that power and determination weren't just a fluke? Your power and determination weren't just a fluke? Golden Canis.
一気火星に畳みかける
Poseidon's blessing, true. Agent of the sea god, lowest chance from oh dear.
こういうのどうだ
And this is the grand battle theme for Lostbelt.
中だな
A really good song.
他にやることないのこういうのどうだ
万々歳だ。何の
Alright,
その
Hakosai, let's use this chain so I don't have an Arts Brave chain. This should break the first bar with the absolute ease, unless of course that sets off Canis's NP, in which case I might just restart the fight to make it easier. Really? Just a bit short, eh? No, yeah, time to reset. Oh, you dick!
我が肉体無敵なり
内熱衝撃板装填します。腕っこき
Black bullet should make
パ
a
ラド
good
ク
one.
センターセット。前にはい示弾装填しま
Where?
す。照準捉えました。バーニャ突撃します。確実にこいつで オルテナウスピョーンと突きじり
Alright, I need to get Hakosai's NP back as soon as I can. That's going to be absolutely essential here.
凍結展開
Frozen deployment.
これは多くの後多くの願いを受けた幻想の城こうせよモールだ
罠だ
そら
我が武勇武器によらず
Of course, it moves all of us. Darn it.
よし
Alright, we'll do it this way.
罠だ つまんない連中だな他にやることなっちゃなこういうのどうだ
I'm gonna use this to get guts on Hakosai. And let's remove this attack down because I need to break this bar. If I use Waver's NP, then Canis becomes a meteor target for Hakosai's NP. But if I go with an Arts Brave chain, Hakosai will be a lot quicker to get her next NP, and I could really use that, I think. So let's do it. There we go. There. Oh crap, bot. We're Batman. Botman.
我が肉体無敵なり高く高くもっと星々の海へ俺は届くだろう落体解明せ
こ もできる。
Chance invincible. 5 left. Oh dear.
We're
gonna get some NPs back here. So 2 left. Yeah, I knew that was a good idea. Invincible. 2 turns left. Alright, so with 2 left, that means I can use... I'll have Mash, Mash Scotty, and then MP. I want to use Mash's first, but I can't do that if I want to use up her invincible. There we are. She's now vulnerable. Pakosai, go. One left. 3 turns, 1 left. Repair Spirit Origin. Release Noble Phantasm. I did not need to do this. I wanted to. Pakosai should break that first Guts with this, and their second with the remaining Brave Chain. Besides, I imagine Canis wants nothing less than an epic ending. Okay, never mind. That's way more of a Guts than I was expecting. Alright, I think I know precisely what I want to do here. Release Noble Phantasm. Pakosai, Saber. Start with Mold Camelot for defense. Pakosai's NP, and then finish with Black Bullet. Because the NP should... Theoretically, the NP should clear the Canis' HP and set off that second Guts. And Black Bullet, if it crits, should be more than sufficient to finish it off. Overkill. And there we go, Black Bullet. Now that's an ending. I'm pretty beat up. There we go. Damn, so I want to bring every human up to the gods level, huh? That explains a hell of a lot, Kushteria. No wonder you're so desperate to get things moving. I don't know what the hell you did to yourself, but it's pretty clear you could drop dead any second. But if this plan of yours works, you'll be set for a nice long life. Typical human thinking. I apologize, I clearly didn't explain myself. My plan is to make every human besides myself into gods, so the revolution won't include me. Even if my plan works flawlessly, I'll still be ordinary. That was a pretty exciting fight, wasn't it? Huh? Well, you might say it's similar to how a doctor can treat anyone except themselves. The revolutionary rain of meteors I'm envisioning requires a central spellcaster to work. One can't turn both the central axle and the world that turns around it at the same time. Really, if I'm being completely honest, my plan is entirely foolproof. When I started it with Atlas, warts and all, when I shared it with Atlas, he reluctantly agreed to it. That being said, I have no intention of dying anytime soon. I plan to keep living for as long as I'm able. Besides, if my plan goes well, then it'll be everyone else's turn to shine. And who knows, I may end up living for quite some time, since I plan on taking it nice and easy in my retirement. What the hell? He's gotta be shitting me. He wants to make everyone else in the world descend to the next plane of existence, the cause of him becoming the only relic of the past? After the hard work he's put into making a new world, he's gonna be the only one left behind? No frickin' way, I don't believe it. I don't even want to think about it. That's not just cruel, that's damn brutal. But he talks about it like it's the most natural thing in the world. He sounds so excited about it, like he couldn't wait for this new, better version of humanity to survive. Your twisted nature couldn't be more plain, Canis. Both your heart and your mind are warped beyond redemption. Even becoming a god has done nothing to fix that. We're never anything more than a recipient of the sea god's love. How could you possibly get to match us? You never even understood the Casteria's vision for bringing about a new age of gods. All you ever did was flail about in anger, curse the gods, and think of nothing but yourself. Hard to believe Canis was a double agent the whole time, but yeah, Wodime really was playing 4D chess with this whole thing. You're right, that sums up my whole life right there. That's why I could never really get behind his goddamn plan. Not really. I never once thought it was a good idea. Shit, the idea of a world where everyone's a god sounds like my own personal hell on earth. I even told him as much. All that aside, he still lived a life I can't even imagine. He had a dream so huge and stupid, nobody else would even think about trying to make it a reality. Seriously, how messed up that he got me, of all people, to want to support someone? Not just anyone, a stuck-up world is my oyster type like him. Crap, no wonder these Chaldea dipshits beat me. The second that happened, my fate was sealed. Ah, well, that's pathetic. Can't believe I picked a fight and then went and lost it. But you know, it's okay. At least I got to go out swinging. This'll tie a nice little bow on my stupid summoning. Now I don't have to worry about you punks or him anymore. Alright, assholes, this is where I'm getting off. See you all in hell. On second thought, I guess you won't be going to our hell, huh? Well, whatever. Point is, I'll be waiting for you on the other side. Make sure to stop by once you're done with everything here. I'll have a few words of praise for you about how you pulled off a hell of a thing, especially for a human. We have confirmed Canis is gone. This Lostbelt's last remaining threat now has been completely neutralized. Canis was a really strong servant. Old man, No, we're back online, right? Oh, we are? Oh, damn it, Spinach. Why didn't you say so sooner? You gotta communicate. Testing. I trust you can all hear me. Once I open the hatch, which I'm about to do in a moment, I want you all to get inside the border double quick. As soon as I've got confirmed your safe return, we'll be going out of airspace immediately. You can make your report to me after you've had a good long rest. However, there's one thing I may say first. Well done. No, you two. Well done, Administrative Advisor. Now that you've returned, I'm officially marking the following mission complete. Order Lostbelt number 5, and its sub-order, those who cross the Sea of Stars. I dare say your performance deserves full marks across the board, and I advise you all look forward to your next bonus, for I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Oh right, we're technically getting paid for doing all this. We did it. Right, congratulations on a job well done, Master. The journey continues. Section 27, Lostbelt. Guess I can't just keep gazing at the sky forever. Now that it looks like the Tree of Emptiness is gone, it's only a matter of time before Olympus disappears. I suppose I should be glad this whole frontier area didn't fall apart the moment Zeus died. Alrighty, I'd better get a move on before the ground here starts to collapse. At least I don't have to wonder where to go next. While I do wish I could go be with David in South America, there's something still have to take care of first. Not usually one for revenge, but I'll make an exception for you, Barrel Gut. I think Pepe is still my favorite of the cryptors. Don't get me wrong, I like Wodime a lot more after all this, but dang. Screams, shrieks, groans, despair, misery, fury. This is what should have been heard across Olympus, the supposed utopia of the gods. I was so looking forward to basking in all of them, to feeling joy and sorrow with my entire being as I laughed at the humans collapsing into tears. I'm assuming, I think I know who this is. I was also disappointed and laughed to mock these humans as they succumbed, but I never expected to encounter someone who could use Rojinsu in such a manner. Beautiful carnivore. Yeah. I can feel my entrails waking up from their slumber. It's been a long time indeed since I last made use of my true body. I must admit I'm most vexed with myself. I never imagined one could break my life extension that way. But no matter. No mind. Never mind for that now. Yes, right now, I believe a moment of silence for the mechanical gods who flew here from a distant realm is in order. I imagine to think the end of the gods' pets would come like this. The gods must be proud indeed, knowing they kept those pets around for 10,000 years like this. Ah, what truly dreadful thought. Academia, art, those ever so-called legacies amount to anything whatsoever. They gave their pets eternal life, even limited their value. And in the end, they were done in by rogues they utterly failed to control. A mere two specimens of humanity, larvae left over from the Olympia Machia, went and betrayed their keepers. And now that Chaldean Company have had their way with them, not a trace remains. What else could one call this but a glorious farce? I come not to bury the gods, but to praise them. Rest assured, this alter ego will never forget these old ones' final moments, nor their death throes. Indeed, now that I've witnessed this beautiful sight, I can scarcely restrain myself any longer. Yes, next time, I, Ashia Doman, shall entertain the god-slaying master in my true domain, the bowels of hell itself. Interestingly, Doman actually is in Shin Megami Tensei. I guess next time we run into him, it'll be our last battle. But we do, like I mentioned before, we have to be careful. Now that Doman is on his final life, a cornered rat is at its most vulnerable. Which means he's going to pull out all the stops, anything he even remotely was hesitant to use before or didn't feel like using. Zero cell systems all green. Magical reactors are operating in parallel. Hull damage minimal. In that case, there won't be any need for us to do a rush dive. We'll be able to begin a standard one before the Lostbelt disappears. Anyway, would you mind giving me a hand? You got it, Captain. No, wait. Forget giving you a hand. You only just got back on your feet, so you should still be taking it easy. Just let me handle things. Sit back and let me handle things for a while. Solid as a seashell. Now go take a seat in the co-pilot's chair and don't forget your seatbelt. Roger that. Solid as a seashell? Dimensional piercing battleship Stormboarder, preparing for deployment. Setting a return course to the Wandering Sea. All hands, I'll do my best to keep the ship steady, but stay alert just in case. No, now that I think about it, we really got our work cut out for us, don't we? Getting through Atlantis and Olympus was a huge ordeal. Fortunately, the Atlantic's Lostbelt Tree of Emptiness is technically gone now, but its branches covering Earth's stratosphere haven't gone anywhere, and the foreign god made her descent. And if that wasn't bad enough, she manifested with the spirit origin of Beast 7, one of the evils of humanity. At one point, the foreign god was one step away from wiping out all of Olympus and taking you guys with it. But that massive burst of magical energy fired at her from the palace put a stop to that. Seems to have done some damage to her by the looks of it, since she responded by pulling in two of the alter egos and disappearing. At that moment, not even the border sensors can determine where they might have gone. Just as well, really, seeing as how we wouldn't have a snowball's chance in hell if she tried to attack us now. And there's a big problem now with the foreign god's name and what she looks like. You, Olga Marie. Yes, I recognize that face in the database. That's definitely Olga Marie Atmosphere. But how? She was killed right after the bomb at Chaldea that began the incineration of humanity. That was the story arc for part 1. What in the world is going on here? Don't tell me this means Chaldea was behind everything after all. Did I really make a once-in-a-lifetime bet on an organization that's trying to wipe out humanity? We're not sure about that either. Is that really Director Olga Marie? Fair question. Given both yours and hers reactions, it seems safe to say there are strong similarities. But there are also too many clear differences to say for sure they're the same person. First, we need to know the foreign god manifested in the spitting image of Olga Marie, and that she also claimed the former director's name as her own. Second, her spirit origin was far from human. She is neither heroic spirit nor human spirit, heroic spirit nor servant. A foreign god manifested as a beast. Third, she did not know who you were, and she also seemed unfamiliar with Earth culture and language. Taking all this into account, it seemed Beast 7 shares many similarities with Beast 1, Gotia, the way he manifested using Solomon's body. Then the foreign god is using Olmarga's body in the same way? The body of the daughter of the Atmosphere family, which is formerly among the Lords of the Clock Tower? This is a disaster, a highly talented mage's body being used as a vessel. Then if I happen to be there, that means the foreign god would look like me. Oh, calm down, Gordolf. I understand the terror of the unknown, but remember, we know a great deal about what sort of person Olga Marie Atmosphere was. While we may not yet know what it is, we can assume there's a reason why the foreign god chose to resemble her. Fortunately, all the Atmosphere's data is also brought along with the Chaldea base, so I'll start going over it once we return to the Wandering Sea. I have no doubt we'll find some manner of clue in there that will help us lead the truth. I see, you're certainly taking all this in stride, Administrative Advisor. Actually, I just had a thought. According to the report I just received, it looks like one of your effects of your being struck by Zeus's lightning was a reduction in brain power. How are you doing now? Are you back to your old self yet, or something of a moron? Moron? Now, not to worry, Gordolf. My brain power is very nearly fully recovered. Yeah, that's what happens when you ask Zeus to strike you down that he doesn't have the balls to do it. He does it. Though I will say, seeing what it's like to voice and act upon my thoughts immediately has been a most novel and informative experience. Never mind that now, Holmes. You've been pushing yourself way too hard for way too long. That's right. I know all about how you've been using your noble phantasm this whole time to come up with ways to get all kind of jams, get out of all the jams you guys have been finding yourselves in. I know we've got stuff to talk about, but it can wait until after you've gotten your ass to the recovery pod. That goes for talking to Kodok in the infirmary, too. It can all wait until everyone's recovered. Wait, you just say Kadok? Oh, Kadok. What are you talking about? You mean he's on the storm border right now? And he's in the infirmary? Oh, right, it completely slipped my mind. We have Kodok in custody right now. It was right before we were about to make our way up to the altar. Don't worry, you've nothing to fear from me. I'm not carrying any NFF service weapons this time. I simply have a delivery for you. This delivery is not from me as a disciple of the foreign god. Rather, it is from the one. It is from the heroic spirit itself, or at least what remains of this heroic spirit within me. Take care of Kadak for me, will you? Ah, because he had a connection to Anastasia. That mischievous Grand Duchess was more worried about someone else's future than her own safety. So rather than letting him die, I thought I should at least give him a fighting chance. But do let him know this was a one-time only occurrence. I won't be lifting a finger to help again, not even if I should happen to see wild dogs eating him alive. And just like that, he dropped Kadok where he stood and left him. He was covered in blood and obviously in critical condition, so we got him to the infirmary right away. By the time we got out there to collect him, the priest was already long gone. That said, Kadok is still in a coma. We're not sure what will happen next with him. According to Nemo's nurse diagnosis, we'll need to keep him in the recovery pod for several months. Once he is fully recovered, mark my words, I'll be grilling him for every bit of info he's got. Well, don't forget, Kadok's not the only one who needs to rest, Gordy. We could all use a good long break. Yes, very true. Between Atlantis and Olympus, we've completed our largest and most trying operation to date. While we may indeed have our work cut out for us, I think we've more than earned the right to take some time and recover. You said it? Okay. You two, I'd like to say a little something too. Congratulations on resolving the 5th Lostbelt. Like we said, we definitely still have our work cut out for us, but we don't have to worry about that yet. Right now, your only job is to get some rest. We can talk turkey about what comes next once Holmes back to his old self. Alright, that's all from me for now. Great work, you two. You did awesome. Senpai, could I talk to you for a little bit before we go to our rooms? Sure, Mash. What's on your mind? Thank you, Senpai. I was just wondering something. What do you make of the foreign god of you, Olga Marie? I know Holmes thinks she's an imposter who only looks like Marie, but I can't help but think. Yeah, me too. There has to be some connection. Right? I don't have anything concrete I can point to explain it, but I felt the same way. There's something about you, Olga Marie, that tells us the same one we knew. Yeah, and that makes this an even bigger concern. What do you mean? Well, now we have to figure out how we're gonna save her. Right, that's exactly right, Master. I know we have a lot of thinking to do about what we can do and what we should do, but if our goal is to save rather than defeat her, I'm more than willing to fight. Yeah, if the real Olga Marie is in there, she might even be the key to how we can defeat the foreign god. After all, I never thought I'd end up back here. Guess even a servant's life is full of surprises. So, what happened to the foreign god? How come she locked herself in the workshop as soon as we got here? She shut herself down quick for all that heavy breathing she was doing. What's the deal? Having second thoughts after one of the Earthlings she treated like fleas managed to cut her? Tried to be understanding, she couldn't help but be surprised when something she considered merely part of the scenery decided to attack her. If a pebble laying on the ground jumped out and slashed you out of nowhere, would you be shocked too? Oh so, well, I'd lose my shit if the eggplant I was having for breakfast yesterday came at me with a sledgehammer. Guess a lot like how some people are scared of bees. So, this mean well, to be fair, people can be allergic to bee poison. Does that mean Kristeria's cursed serious light thing is, of course, didn't actually hurt the foreign god? It didn't even come close to breaking her skin. The fact there were beings willing to attack her was all that made her stop and rethink her approach. She's currently using this terminal to review human history, even if she doesn't seem very happy about it. You know, in a sense, Kristeria saved our lives as well. Thanks to him, the foreign god's now willing to let us stay as her disciples. Never mind, we've lost contact with Limbo for the moment. Is the foreign god supposed to be all-powerful some such? What'd you be needing us for? Getting to that, you see, there are two surprising things that the foreign god learned from these events. The fact that there are insects in this world willing to attack her, reckless and meaningless as those attempts may be, and that there exists a lance of light capable of burning down even the trees of emptiness. She'd like you to go investigate the latter, and destroy it, of course. She says she'll teleport you there as soon as she's ready. So, well, it can't be any worse than here. No telling when this place will up and disappear anyway. So how about you? Gonna stay here as our escort? No, I'll be heading out shortly myself. The foreign god desires a more durable vessel than the one she has now, so she's sending me out to procure one. Ain't she playing strong as she is? Well, it's not even possible to make a stronger spirit origin anywhere on Earth, right? So where are you gonna get a better one than the one she's already got? Not to worry, I already have just the place in mind. You see, the machine gods from Atlantis aren't the only foreign beings that made their way to this planet in ages long past. There's a golden sea of trees in the belly of the underworld known as Zabalba that's home to an enormous beast. I believe that is the Mayan underworld. It slumbers in a world where Alaria is stable and wiggles to life in a world where Gaia shows herself. I speak, of course, of an ultimate one, a being who came here from the T-Cloud. I imagine that's really notable from something else in the universe, but I'm afraid I'm not familiar with it. The journey continues. Hey, you up now? Oh, good you are. There's something you ought to see. I went back and forth whether to bring this to you, but ultimately, I think you thought you deserved to see it. Sorry to spring this on you when you're still tired, but I didn't think it could wait. So, what's this I ought to see? A video from the God Destroyer Alliance base. According to the timestamp, it was recorded after you guys took Demeter out. We're not sure exactly when it was sent, but it looks like the shrine right before you got is left for the Great Orbital Shrine. I don't know how they pulled it off, but the file's in the exact same format we use at Chaldea. Man, Olympian tech never ceases to impress me. Anyways, I already sent the file to your personal terminal. We already watched ourselves, but I'm not going to demand you do the same. Whether you do or not, it's up to you. Well, I see no reason not to be left in the loop. Though I will say Gordolf decided to designate himself as MI after watching himself. Said something along the lines of, we can't confirm their deaths, so who's to say they won't come back again someday. Like a director, like field team, I guess, but hey, who am I to judge? We could all stand to get a little sentimental now and then. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say for now. Beep. Alright, let's see what this message is exactly. Good, the camera's working fine. Testing, no problems with audio either. Okay, I'm about to record. I'm all set to record. Now I just gotta make sure no one sees me. It's not that I want to cause any infighting, but every organization needs to perform an internal review sometimes. And while the God Destroyer Alliance might not have many members, still an organization, we should know how everyone really feels. I don't like the idea of surreptitiously filming them, but then again, Edison said it was perfectly normal. Anyway, this will only be for reference, nothing more. Curious, where are you? Could've sworn he's around here. Maybe he's in a private room? What's up, Adele? Something matter? I wanted to ask Macarios to help me with something, but I can't find him anywhere. Gotcha. Maybe I can help instead? I appreciate the offer, but that's okay. You see, I wanted to ask him to fine-tune you and Mash's Right, couldn't be much help with that. Not exactly my area of expertise. Well, I wouldn't say Macarius and I are experts either. Maybe not, but how many years have you been fiddling with that stuff? 1,000 or so. Or I guess in other worlds, worlds that would make us experts. You can say that again. I see your point. There you are, sister. Hey, Musashi. Oh, good. That's Macarius. You want me to fine-tune the Clearone Nomia, right? I'll take care of it. Make sure there won't be any after effects such. And you want a different subject. Can I ask you something? What is it? I was just wondering what you think of the Chaldeans. Oh, what do you mean? There are comrades in arms. They've been valuable to the Alliance. How about you, Musashi? Good question. Maybe travel companions? No, that's not quite right. I honestly don't know much about homes. I barely even talk to any of the other staff members either. But I do love the Master. Mash too, of course. Really, I love them both to bits. Oh my. At first, I didn't really know anyone besides the Master. And my first impression of Mash was basically she seemed really earnest. But then once I saw how she fought, I got it. The whole reason he's able to live the way he does, the Master's able to live the way he does, is because he's been with her this entire time. Once I figured that out, I just fell in love with Mash. Now I can't help but smile whenever I see the two doing the best together. Ah, that's so touching. I love that sort of thing. I don't really get the appeal myself. Anyway, next question. Are there any requests you'd like to make of them? Something you think they could be doing better? What question's that? Like some kind of performance review? Of course, Tom. Just make conversation, not for any particular reason. Really? Well, if you insist so. Something quest? I guess I'd like them to do. I guess I'll like to do all the living I won't be able to. Huh? On second thought, forget that one. Let me try again. Just for them happy lives. Yeah, answers to that. It's not even a request. I want to live as long as happy together as possible, so they never have to go through any more pain or hardships. That's the one only request I have. Well, that was helpful. I really do love those two, don't you? Absolutely. Like I said, I love them pieces. So what about you? You? Us? You're the only other ones here, aren't you? Well, we definitely couldn't have beaten Demeter without them. In fact, the Alliance never actually managed to destroy a single god until they came along, despite the name, so I like them personally, and I don't just mean as comrades and Alliance members. Sister, we hadn't met them while we were in the middle of fighting a war. I even think we could have been friends. Of course you could. Honestly, I thought you were already friends, aren't you? Not sure, I hope so. Well, I could have sworn you were, so, Ah. I got it. Somebody mark a date just because this gal had herself a fantastic idea. Where'd that come from? What is this idea? I'm so glad you asked. It's fantastic. My idea is that once Operation God Destroyer is well and truly done, we shall have a party to celebrate, one with lots of yummy food. You're right. That does sound lovely. Sure, but it only works if the operation goes off without a hitch, we don't have any casualties, and we have enough time to put something like that together. So I'm not sure I'd call it. It's gonna be great. We're gonna make it go great. Good point. I mean, the plan is for the operation to work as intended, so why not? Though I'll have to start thinking of what to make for the occasion. That would be good for a party. Udon, definitely udon. The rest will have to go around asking what their favorite foods are. We'll definitely have to get Gordolph to make his special omelets. This bar is gonna be so much fun, just you wait. Cosmos denial. The Lostbelt has been deleted. And here we have the next Holy Grail. Tomorrow in your present box. Well, this I gotta see. Gain 2 stars to turn increase in peace. This is just for. This is definitely just a trophy item. Off a great idea. A super idea with no strings attached. If Operation God Destroyer goes back. While the victory was achieved, the promise could not be fulfilled. This is a record of the past, dazzling memories that remain within your heart. And yet, if such a future was possible, humans would surely look up the scene and use your strength to rise up. Just like a certain ordinary master who managed to achieve so many impossible things, as you rest inside the coffin of uncertainty and the void. Dang, these craft essences always are pretty. Will be implemented in a future update. And that is the end of Interstellar Mountainous City Olympus. Now, I think I like Atlantis a little better, but I definitely do think Olympus had a lot of really great stuff in it. Atlantis, I think, was a better overall experience, but Olympus definitely had a lot of great fights. Some were more frustrating than others, though. I guess I can't gauge if they're fair or not, because I know plenty of people have beaten every single fight without a command seal, including Demeter, so I won't say anything about the quality of the fights, but I will say they felt like big epic battles, and that was pretty nice. I will say that my opinion on Canis actually turned around quite a bit. When I first met her during the start of the Lostbelt storyline, she felt like she was just another excuse to have... Canis felt like he was just another excuse to have Gil without actually using Gilgamesh, which was a bit disappointing. He even did the Gil thing, where he insisted that being a god made him better than everyone else. But by the end, I felt a lot better. Demeter we only knew for a short period of time, but I really think she made a good impression. I think that's because she's the first one we have to fight. She was a frustrating battle, but that means she left a good impact. So despite having less screen time than everyone else, I really did quite like her. Aphrodite I really liked for getting a chance to use Queen Sheba, since a DPS caster you don't have to use very often, especially a single target one. And it was interesting seeing her put the Master into a time loop like that. It was an interesting way of going, and the general backstory of the gods was also pretty entertaining as well. Zeus I was definitely getting Yahweh from SMT vibes a bit by the end, when he demanded all people do is worship him, and that he planned to go off into space, even though it means abandoning most of the people who worshipped him. And, you know, big golden giant head boss thing and all that. I definitely did like Mars, even if it was for a short period of Ares, even if it was only for a short period of time. Like I said at the time, it was nice seeing him in a heroic role, since he's usually cast as a villain whenever he shows up in a story. If I had to list a disappointment, though, it would probably be the Dioscuri. While I do get that they were meant to be a sort of foil, an evil counterpart to the twins on our side, it felt like they didn't really have any growth or development. In fact, you probably even saw it when I was excited that they were finally giving their One Piece style sad backstory right before the battle, so we could finally be through with having them in the story. And that's especially frustrating because they actually had a bit of built up in Atlantis right before showing up in Olympus, and yet they did jack with it. Pollux was just a yes man to Castor, and Castor is just angry Gemini noises for basically the entire time. There wasn't really much growth or anything, unlike our twins. On that note, I did like the twins a lot. I think I mentioned it in one of the earlier ones, but if I had a choice to add some more servants, I would definitely go with the NPC allies we've gotten, because I did like how there was some differing factions in Olympus, and having the entire Lostbelt turn against us, it makes sense. They even hinted at it in earlier ones, but this was the first time we did indeed have the entire Lostbelt to recognize us as the enemy that we technically are, so it was definitely interesting to have to deal with all that. That said, while they do have an AI act as like Tesla, Helena, and Edison for a bit, it still sucks that we barely even see them. And I really don't like how they keep bringing Mordred into storylines only for her to do absolutely nothing. I mean, she showed up in Lostbelt 3, but a lot of people would forget she was even in there because she doesn't actually do anything of note in there. But still, of the ones that were, of the ones who were there, I think they did a pretty good job with most of them. Just a few disappointments. So yeah, I think those are why I think Atlantis was slightly stronger than Olympus. The only real weak part of Atlantis was Bartholomew Roberts, who really seemed to only be there. I don't even know, honestly. Even his death scene wasn't very emotional. He just kind of delivers, and then he's all, well, looks like my job's done, and time for me to die. See ya. And then it was over. Alright. Well, I guess that's all for now. And that's all for the Olympus storyline. I'll probably stream this game again when another storyline arrives, just because that's probably gonna be my focus here. While I do like mobile games are a good option for when I need filler, or when I feel like, well, not sure it's filler, but it's basically when I'm not feeling anything else. Also, I usually prefer it to have something I can directly engage with, as well as the chat to engage with. So, and I feel the storyline for this game does a better job of that than Events, since it's a game where you have to farm a lot. And while I don't mind farming, I come from a background of MMOs, as I've mentioned in other VODs, but yeah, I just don't think it'd be engaging if I were to just do a stream of me farming for a few hours, even if even if I could handle it myself just fine. But we'll see how things go, as usual. Like the twins said, a world where you never know what tomorrow brings can be exciting at sometimes. Alright, well until next time, thank you for watching, hope you had a good time, and I'll see you later.